Podcast. We love sports just like you.
Welcome to the Team Podcast, episode 004. My name is Nash, and with me I got Wells.
Hi, what's up?
You forgot we're recording?
You kind of just like, I thought you were gonna say Smythe as well, but you just like said Wells, and then you like leaned forward. And I was like, oh shit.
I always say your name, and then
you know what?
say,
It's funny.
Wait, and then I got Smythe on my right.
Would
ones and twos.
you know what's funny? First I was like, we're gonna again applaud Nash for getting the episode right, and then we didn't do that. So I was like, we're over that now. But now we got to start doing a new one for you missing your cue, and it's time for you to say something.
But when I did send you guys a script, and he's like, and it had episode 003 at the top. And then he corrected me there. So he did correct me on that one.
So we're past the first minute and a half of the
Yes.
show. All
So
right.
It's all great. It's all good.
Nice.
So what's going on, guys? What's going on?
Yeah.
We're gonna start off. Actually, I got some things to do. So Halloween's coming up.
Wow.
Next week or
What is it?
well, I mean, like if you're going out for Halloween, like next Friday, Saturday is when people go out.
Yeah.
But I think the actual
It's Tuesday.
on
Halloween's
Tuesday,
on
yeah.
a Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm going to a Katy Perry concert with my niece
Wait, on the actual Tuesday?
on Halloween. You know,
niece.
she's
How old's your
14
niece?
now. She's 14. She doesn't know trick or
She
treating.
likes Katy Perry. That's like a
Well, she's too cool for trick or treating, and she's not too cool for Katy Perry. There's got to be this in between
So you're
age where
not
she's
going
now at. Of course, I'm not.
Are you supposed to go out the weekend before? Or the
You weekend
after?
before, yeah. Next weekend's like Halloween party weekend for old people.
But actually, Halloween has turned into like a week event now.
how's it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They got parties all over the place, and it's turned into a complete week event. And you gotta have like 3 costumes now.
I don't know.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, and like especially if you're like a teacher or something, like you want to go with your friends on the Friday, Saturday, then you actually have to go teach on the Tuesday.
You gotta go to school.
Oh, an actual teacher.
Yeah,
I thought you meant if you want to dress up like a teacher.
Which is okay.
and show up out at school.
Well, you know those costumes that women wear.
You guys have anything planned yet?
Not yet. You got something going on?
I'm going next Friday to Steam Whistle.
Oh.
Yeah, I got invited to a party there.
Sweet.
Yeah, so
Are you saying we're not invited? Is that what you're trying to say?
the 27th.
So we can't come?
You can go.
Just
It
you're
costs
invited.
money. It's like $35 or something.
That's
But
fine.
yeah, you dress up, win prizes, drink Steam Whistle. There's some DJ there named Scratch Bastard or something.
I know that guy.
That's it. You do?
Yeah, he's a good DJ.
Where's the DJ? Where's the DJ?
DJs.
He DJs or DJ?
No, I mean, I know the name. I don't know where he DJs at. I'm not a stalker. I just know who he is. I heard the name before.
All right, so Steam Whistle. Sweet. All right. Now I got my plans for next Friday.
Yeah, do it. Seriously.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to start a podcast like I normally start a podcast. How is your fantasy team doing, Smythe? Did you get a win yet?
We can't talk about my fantasy team.
You did get a
I
win.
lost by 1 point.
Ooh.
1 point last
Did
week.
you lose like on a Monday night?
Yeah, I lost on Monday night.
Ooh.
I lost to DeMarco Murray on Monday night. I got, I think, 20 points total from the 2 quarterbacks in my 2 quarterback league. And I pretty much donated my $250. So shout out to Best of the Pages. No, I got one. I got a win.
Oh, wait, was that last week?
No, I beat the number 1 guy, but I was 1-3, then 1-4, and now I'm 1-5. So
It's
Dunzo.
like Cleveland Browns. So
yeah,
you're one
basically, I'm the Browns.
win. How about your fantasy team?
I finally lost again.
Yes!
Finally
Who'd
lost.
you lose to?
The guy who's undefeated, Fong.
Oh, Fonger?
Fong is 6-0, man.
Really?
I know. And
Wow.
he had Ezekiel Elliott out, well, on a bye, and then he had Odell Beckham out. My team was cheeks last week, man. They stunk.
Oh, man.
I had David Carr, one of the Cars, whatever his name.
The guy that I hate now because he lost.
Guy who's
to
throwing like 3 touchdowns today. Anyways, he threw one last week and 2 picks. Did me in. It wasn't good, guys. Wasn't good.
Oh, man.
Man.
Undefeated gone. Did Corey get a win yet, at least?
Nope. Corey lost again.
Nice.
0-6, guys.
Nice.
Because was he playing Brick, his brother?
He's playing DeFeo
Oh, okay.
from Horseplay.
Horseplay.
And he had a chance to win on the Monday night, and he came up like 3 points short. So
He didn't come up short. That's how his team came in.
yeah, his team's bad, man. 0-6.
That's rough.
And he's
That's
still
rough.
like trying to like trade for pieces.
He's still working on it.
Cleveland Browns.
You know what? You gotta give it out to a guy like that, though. That's dedication.
All right, so we're gonna do this a little differently this week because we got some guests and we want to start a kitchen table. So we're just gonna
Kitchen table?
Kitchen table. I'm gonna call it kitchen table. Everyone calls it round table. I'm calling it kitchen
Okay,
table.
yeah,
It's a
that's fair
round
enough.
Table, and
Sure.
you know that's where a lot of conversations happen around the kitchen table.
If you're a grandma.
Yeah. If it's
I'm
Thanksgiving.
working on a name, okay, guys? I'm working on a name. All right, so I'm gonna recap last week, week 6 with our picks. So Wells, you went 3 and 5.
3 of 5.
Of 5.
3 of 5. Smythe, you went 3 of 5.
Nice.
And myself, went 4 of 5.
What?
I think he makes it up.
Nope.
Yeah, f-
I
that.
think he just draws it up. I think he draws it, and he's like,
Go back and look at it.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Go back
swear
and
there.
look at it. Go back and look at it. I'm 4 or 5. All right, so we're gonna go into week 7 picks. So we're gonna go Buccaneers at Bills. The Bucks at the Bills. Right now we got some injuries going on, so I couldn't find a line for that. The Bucks are 2 and 3, and the Bills are 3 and 2. Who do
Bills
you guys-
win. Bills win.
Who do you guys?
Winston's out. Bills win.
Is he out?
I'm pretty sure.
They don't know. That's why there's no.
No, man. You know what? Here's what I believe. And this is gonna sound kind of weird.
Mhm.
If you're taking, if this is again, this is gonna sound weird. So everyone, hold tight. If the Bucks don't have Winston, I say they win. Okay.
Oh, that does sound weird.
No.
Because guess who's coming in to replace Jameis Winston?
Who's it back?
Ryan Fitzpatrick, who used to play for the Bills,
Fitz.
got cut, lost a bunch of money, revenge game. I'm telling you right now, if he's starting, they will win the game. I don't care what the spread is.
That is-
Well, they're probably underdogs.
That is
Probably.
that is a
Inside the
great,
Bills.
great projection. I applaud that.
We call that a hot take.
But you're wrong. But I applaud it. But you're wrong.
You're wrong. I'm going with the Bucks either way.
Oh, so you with me, ride or die?
Yeah, right there. Let's go Jets at Dolphins. Jets are 3 and 3, 500. Dolphins are 3 and 2.
Oh,
Wells, who you got? Who you got?
This is tough, man. This is a tough game.
Oh, this it's minus
3, right?
3.
Yeah.
Minus.
Yeah, it's a minus division.
Yeah,
game.
this is tough. You know what, man? I'm still. I mean, I know the Dolphins went into Atlanta and won, but I think the Jets.
They're on a 2-game win.
Jets are playing well, man. They're playing really well. They could have came out.
They almost beat the Patriots last week.
Well, I mean, that
They
touchdown.
should've beat the
that
Patriots
touchdown-
last week.
There was a touchdown call back that should have counted, and I know so well because this cost me some points in fantasy. But I'm gonna go with the Jets to cover the spread +3. I don't know if they're gonna win, but it's gonna be close.
I'm the same way. I still have the Jets covering. The Jets know who they are, and the Dolphins don't yet. And that's the Dolphins will play some good weeks and have some. And I think that the Jets know what they're doing on the field, and with that win or that. It was a win for them, right? It's a moral victory. With that, they think they can compete, and they come out and they beat the Dolphins down.
So you got the Dolphins.
No, man.
No,
they
oh,
beat
Jets.
the Dolphins
sorry, you
down.
got the Jets.
Yeah.
You got Jets. Okay, I got Dolphins. Running a 2-game winning streak. I think they got it. down. So we'll go.
Well, you're convincing.
So we got Saints at Packers. The Saints are 3 and 2 with a 3-game winning streak, and the Packers are 4 and 2 with a 1-game winning streak.
Aaron
Saints
Rodgers isn't playing.
Saints
Why?
are
Why?
-5.
Yes,
Yeah, why are
you
we-
got it.
Why are we even discussing this? Aaron Rodgers is not playing. The Saints will kill them. The end.
Saints.
2 touchdowns.
You got Wells.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's a tough
Tough.
one. Like the Packers got to win, but the Saints are playing pretty inspired right now. They had a big win last week against the Lions, but like Green Bay at home, I think we see something out of Hundley, who's taking over for Rodgers. I'll take the points at home for the Packers. All right,
Packers.
give me 5 points.
Who was the
Packers.
quarterback that had like the Packers record for yards when Rodgers got hurt
Matt
last
Flynn.
time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, can I ask you guys one?
No. yeah, go ahead.
Can I change my Super Bowl pick?
Yes, absolutely. That's
Who
the
was
best
it
part of
again?
this.
Packers.
Yeah. Well. Okay.
Am I allowed? Is that allowed?
Of course you can. I mean,
can you
When
change
their-
it? Of
course you can
when their
change your
big
pick.
quarterback goes down, is
Can
that
I change my
allowed?
World Series picks?
Yes, you can. You can pick a new team
Oh,
right
you
now.
have to, 'cause your team
Yeah.
is out.
What's your new team?
You have to.
Pick your new team. What's
team's
what's
not
your
out of
team?
it.
Yeah, they're out. What's your new team?
I'm gonna go with my original pick, Panthers.
Oh, all right.
Meow.
Well, yeah. You just
I'm
wasted.
gonna go with Panthers.
You wasted your second pick of Super Bowl.
All right, whatever. We'll see who's out there.
All right.
So we're gonna go Washington football team.
Yeah,
At
our
the-
words.
At the Eagles. Washington is 3 and 2 with riding a 1-game winning streak. Eagles are 5 and 1 riding a 4-game winning streak. Eagles are -4.5.
Smith,
And
you
this
want to
is
take
for a
this one?
division one.
He's got it. They're riding high right now. They're gonna have a trap game, but this isn't it. I think they're remember when I was talking a couple weeks ago about LeGarrette Blount and them utilizing him because he's a big back and how teams don't use their big backs enough.
Yeah.
I think Philly's figured out that you could just air the ball out early and depend on your running game after to put these games away, and they're pretty solid. So I think they'll get it done.
You got Wells.
I got the Eagles winning. The R words looked bad last week at home against the 49ers.
They sure did.
And I mean, like, as much as I don't believe in Wentz, he's proven that he's actually probably top
This
10.
year.
He's
Yeah,
probably
he's
top
gonna
10 right
win this
now.
year for sure.
And if he wins this week, I'm all aboard the Wentzylvania. Mayor of Wentzylvania. Yeah.
They're leading the division too. Yeah. So
Yeah, that's great.
This is based. Oh well, yeah, by a lot too. Jeez. And finally, the game of the week, I think.
Who are you taking?
Oh, sorry, Eagles.
We're all on the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Get on that bandwagon, boys.
So the game of the week that everyone's probably going to be gravitating to, we got Falcons at Patriots. Falcons are 3-2, and Patriots are 4-2. Eagles are minus 3.5.
No.
Falcons are minus.
No, it's
That's
not.
what
New England's minus 3.5.
I said. Is that what I said?
No, you said
Did I say Falcons?
Eagles.
I did say Eagles? Oh, my
Yeah, the
apologies.
Pats are minus
Patriots.
3.5, and they're at home.
Apologies.
I take the Falcons plus 3.5.
Bounce back.
Bounce back. They need to win.
They're
They just lost to
giving up
Dolphins.
leads, eh? They're giving up a lot of leads.
Yeah, I just think like they got a sour taste left in their mouths from the Super Bowl. Nothing would be better to go into the home of the Patriots
and
and just
take 'em
like
out.
just spank them.
Mind you, Falcons are giving up leads, but the Patriots are giving up 300 yards plus every game.
Yeah, and the Falcons
So,
are arguably have one of the best offenses in the league.
So if the Patriots don't have if Tom Brady doesn't have a good game, they're not
Well,
gonna win.
here's what I think is going to happen. I think Matt Ryan, because he's not playing well. Let's be honest. He's not the guy that the MVP from last year.
Nope.
He's going to go to the scene of the crime. Basically, he's going to say the team that came back from 28 down to beat him. I think he's in his head. I think he's in his head right now. And I think going into this week, I think he was worried about this game last week, maybe the week before.
Yeah, that's true.
He does not want to get this game get away. He knows he's facing a weak offense. I think I'm not going to say he chokes, but I'm going to say he's not going to have his best game, and the Patriots win.
Patriots.
The spread is tough, but I think it'll be a touchdown. So
All right. I got Falcons. Falcons, all the same reasons. And I just there's something. The Pats are winning. Mind you, they are winning.
Not
games.
convincingly.
No, not at all.
That's my whole fear about.
They're
I
getting
just
it
feel
done.
They're gonna fall off. And again, if Tom Brady doesn't have a good game, that's it. They're gonna lose.
Gronk's playing.
Yes, but
Difference.
again, yes, to be throwing the ball right.
Difference
So,
maker.
Yep. All right, guys. So those are our picks for this week. If you want to lose money, pick the games that those guys pick. If you
Bet
wanna
with
win money,
us.
follow my games. All right. With that being said, we're gonna get into something. Maybe I'll call it kitchen table, round table, whatever you want to call it.
You've already named the kitchen table. You've already
I'm
made fun
working
of.
You guys didn't seem to like that.
We are riding
Caught
with
me
it
off
now.
guard.
Yeah, we're riding with it now.
All right, you guys didn't seem to like it. So, with this kitchen table, round table, we're basically gonna recap the month and things coming up with more lengthy discussions. Hopefully it's a good podcast. Hopefully the discussions are great. But with that, we got two guests with us.
Not really
First-
guests. They're regulars, kind of.
The first we got Mark from Mark Fit. Say what's up, Mark.
How you doing, everybody?
So, how's everything going?
And next we got Joe Green, a familiar voice to everybody. Say what's up, Joe.
How's it going, guys?
Yes. So we got a packed house today. So we're gonna start off. With
This guy is beside me on Tinder.
Yeah, getting ready
So
for
he's
Friday,
really-
son. Getting ready for Friday.
Gotta play the field, man.
this guy is doing.
yo, I came here to play, man.
What y'all want to talk about? Hold on.
Hey.
To me, or
Play, right?
Yeah, can you both you guys put away your phones? Jesus.
We're ready.
Oh
I'm ready.
my
I'm good to go.
goodness.
I'm good to go. Ready.
All right. So, one of the hot topics this month, anyway, was the NFL protests, or the anthem protests, as people like to dub it. Who wants to start us off with this one? Smythe?
Well, here's my thing is that it's gone so big and blown out of proportion. I believe that we're now sitting in an era where there's two different things. First thing, there's what the initial protest was, and there's what the media has made out of it. So now we have this disrespecting the national anthem and the flag and the soldiers and yakety yakety, which was not the initial point of the protest. And then we have what Colin Kaepernick actually did, which was protesting racial inequality and injustice and police brutality and yakety yakety yakety.
Yeah.
Well, and that
Wait, that's not the media's fault, though.
it's
not
here's
100% the media's fault.
my logic is it's exactly the media's fault because there has to always be a bad guy, and they made the bad guy Colin Kaepernick and the rest of the NFL because they were doing something. They didn't ask them what they were protesting. If you sat and asked a simple question,
No, they did ask him. Kaepernick did answer what they're protesting.
and then they decided to change it and say something totally different.
Now with the name anthem protest, that's when people started losing control. They're all over the place.
Fake news,
Fake news and stuff like that.
right?
Yeah.
And that's what happened. It turned into a media.
And the only reason I don't say it's all the media's fault is because the players now that are currently kneeling, who has clarified their stance? Can you name a single player that? And there have been players. Don't get me wrong, but can you name a single player that's clarified anything?
Their stance is Colin Kaepernick's stance. That's why they're kneeling.
No. Who has said that? Name me the player that said that.
All the ones that said we ride with Colin Kaepernick.
Who said that?
A lot of guys have said
A
that.
lot of guys said that.
A lot of dudes said that.
Someone said-
Who is that? A lot of guys have said that. They've tweeted out. They said they're pretty much the same thing. But I think the bigger question is, what media persons asked them directly? Like, what is your stance on this? No one's asked them.
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't.
That's a bigger question. At the end of the day, like no media persons went up to a player and said, "So what is your stance on this?" Knowing that they're going to take the Colin Kaepernick stance. I think it's just the truth is a lie is more entertaining than the truth, and at this moment, that's kind of where they're heading with this. Because at the end of the day, it's amazing that the president himself was already one of the first people that was disrespecting
Well,
Army
made
vets
it.
and all that kind of stuff when he dissed McCain before he became. So it's, at the end of the day, I think they just they ran with something they know is making a headline, and they're just kind of going that route. It's totally lost the original focus of what the whole protest is about.
Yeah, like something that you said. If you said the lie is better than the truth, and
Totally.
that's basically maybe what you're going to, right, Smith? Like media people just.
They took a story and they made a story out of it, and that wasn't the initial issue. Which that's what the problem is right now. We're talking about two different things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we're sitting on it.
Because what do people just dub this as anthem protest?
Yep.
Anthem protest, which is you're completely clouding it now.
Yeah.
You're 100% completely clouding it. Anthem protest. That's not what they're doing. They're not protesting. Actually, when Colin Kaepernick when he first started this, he was sitting, and then when people noticed it, he didn't like it. So I actually asked an Army vet, "What's the best way of doing it?"
And they told him to kneel.
And they told him kneel.
Yep.
He said, "This is not about Army. This is not about this. It's about the injustice and everything like that, and all this kind of stuff." And then, yeah, and again, the only reason I don't say I don't think it's 100% the media is like, can these players all band together and go, "This is what we're doing"? I don't hear the unity from all of them as a whole saying, "This is what we're doing. This is why we're kneeling. This is why we're doing this. This is why we're doing that."
My opinion on it is it's already been said why that protest is happening. They don't have to voice every day. They just have to actually do the act of the protest. The actual point should be out there. Because the point's been changed or twisted by media doesn't mean they have to reiterate. That's not their job. Their job is to be emotional and take that stance. We know what the stance is about already. And people twisted it, and it's not their fault. That's where I stand on it.
It's not players though.
No.
So, but I agree with you, Nash. It almost the fact that they don't have something to say about it almost makes them come across as if they don't really have a stance, or they're not solid on it. Like okay, one guy took the fall, Colin Kaepernick. Yeah, the rest of us are gonna kneel before the anthem. But like I said, media's not asking any of these guys directly what it's related to, under the assumption they are going to say.
Or at least I haven't heard it.
No, and you're not hearing it too much. But I mean, we're assuming that they're going to say that they're just it's the whole inequality thing. I think at the end of the day, it's also thinking about the anthem because the truth is they can't fix inequality, so it's almost better to just get off that topic.
Well, you can fix it if you actually try.
If you try, but like I said,
prejudice and racism are not going away.
they're not going that route, so it's just easier to focus. It's easier to call it something else.
Yeah, and then you mentioned Donald Trump, of course, and of course, like Donald Trump is made just completely dismissive and not dismissive. What do I mean? Separating everybody by entering into the fray, and then all of a sudden the owners came down in here, and then just made a whole mess of it. Martin Wells, you're not saying anything. What's going on?
Well, what's there to say? Like, I
listened to the horseplay last week, and it sounded like, and DeFeo, shout out to DeFeo, sounded like he was just fed up with the whole thing.
Yeah, and I'm fed up with it too. That's why I'm really not saying that much about it, because we've talked about this before on this podcast. I've talked about it on other podcasts, and I think the more attention we give to it, the more we don't know what we're talking about. Really, like, we don't know why people are doing this, right? Like, it's just kind of like, well, I'm going to do this because I'm in the spotlight and I can do it, and there's really no message why they're doing it, right? It's what you guys already alluded to. You've already said it, and I think now it's just become. It's right. The media has blown it up so much to the point where, like I said, I watch on Red Zone. There's now an actual 2 or 3 minute period at the start of Red Zone where they just say to go over who sat, who kneeled, who stood. You know what I mean? And it's even gotten more. Like, I saw Jerry Jones go down to the field and kneel with the players, and now he's saying if they do it, they're not going to play for his team. So I'm really not sure what the purpose of any of this is, really. And, like, I don't know how much more I can talk about it. Like, I don't know what else to say.
Well, you know, here's where it actually starts. Here's my opinion is that if there's a national anthem playing and you're playing in the National Football League, you work at a job. And when you work at a job, if they tell you that you have to stand for the national anthem, you have to stand for the national anthem. And if you refuse to stand for the national anthem, you can do so at risk of losing your job.
But the NFL is not telling people to stand or sit.
No. So the NFL supported the rights of the players to protest by not telling them they can't protest. Which now, if you and the NBA and Stern said players have to stand in his league,
CBA.
and that's well, you know what? That's a different stance. They said you must stand up for the national anthem. The NFL didn't do that. So the NFL took the side of the players in this situation. Yeah. Okay. Now, that comes at the fans booing every time it happens, right? The president says players should be standing. If they shouldn't, they get fired. So now the issue becomes the president of the country is saying these players should stand for the anthem, but the owners of the league are saying these players can do what they want. It's their right to protest if they want to.
No.
That's the exact statement. Or else they would have said you have to stand for the anthem.
No, not 100% they're saying that. Because remember, they did put out a statement that people have to stand. They did later take that back when they started talking to the players, because they said they had to stay. Jerry Jones said if
his
any of my
players, that's
kneel,
right.
Then they're sitting down. Even though none of his players kneel, so I don't know why he said anything. The only time they actually did kneel was when
he was there.
He was there, and he kneeled with
them. He kneeled with
them.
them. That's the only time they actually kneel.
So he didn't have to say anything.
At the end of the day, you can find every single player that doesn't stand for the national anthem. Of course you can. It's your league.
It's not the CBA.
It's 100%. Doesn't matter. They can say there's a lot of things that are on the CBA guys get fined for all the time, right?
No.
What? Of course, consistently.
No. Name one thing that they do. Nobody gets fined.
Conduct detrimental to the team.
This is not conduct.
Yes, that is conduct detrimental to the team.
You're peaceful protesting.
You stand up if
what are you protesting for?
The fans boo. If the fans are booing, it's conduct detrimental. If you say it is, that's what detrimental conduct means. Anything we think we don't like, we can fine you for it. That is the definition of it.
I don't think that's correct at all.
100%. That's what it
don't
is.
find anybody yet.
Because the owners decide not to do it. If the league decides to fine the players will get fined.
You know how we can just eliminate this is just not play national anthems at sporting events.
I hate national anthems.
I don't understand what the purpose is.
And, well, they're doing it because it's political. And they're the only team that actually televises the national anthem. No other sports league televises it.
That's not true.
No,
that's not true.
No,
NHL does it every Saturday.
They sing it on TV all the time. Yeah, it's
NHL does. But the NBA, you don't see it. No, the NBA, they don't show it. No, they don't show it.
Unless there's a special guest, unless there's a special performer that's at a game.
Yeah.
But you just said they don't. That's what they do.
No, they don't, because that's a special thing. But
sometimes they do, sometimes you don't.
Yeah, but
they're not. They don't show it on TV.
But regardless of the fact if it's special or not, it's still being televised.
Sometimes.
But we're not asking about. The whole comment wasn't. It's always on. If it's televised, it's televised, regardless if it's once or 1,000 times.
All you have to do is say if you're not standing for the national anthem, you're fined whatever dollar amount per game. That's it. Players will stop. It'll be over. They'll protest another way. And it's very simple, but they won't do it.
You keep saying it's very simple, but they don't do it. And
do you know why they don't do it? Because it draws attention. It's not the CBA.
Yes, it is. And why do they do it?
Why would it matter?
Don't like it. So why don't they do it? It's not the CBA.
It's because they like the
You got
attention.
people tuning in
It's the
every
attention.
week.
It's the attention.
They do like it.
No, because their league is very
But it was divisive long before
Yeah.
this came out.
because fans, and again, if you listen to Horseplay last week, they're fans of football. DeFeo and Wells are fans of football, and they're tired of it. And a lot of fans are tired of it. It's not that he's. It's not that.
No. I agree with that. I don't think it's the fans that are like looking
Media.
for this.
That's it.
It's the league realizing that people tune in
Just
week
for that.
after week,
Yep.
talking about it. It's just the talking about it piece. That's all it is. Which is why they stay on the same tangent.
And I'm a fan of the sport, but I'm not like and whatever one player wants to do, he wants to kneel, he wants to cook dinner or whatever. Whatever he wants to do, go ahead. I don't care. I just want to watch the actual product on the field. And I think we ourselves are even guilty of making this a bigger deal than it should be. And like I understand players have beliefs and rights and they're really passionate about it, and I'm all for that. But like we as like fans and as like media, and now that we're doing our own podcast, we have to stop like magnifying this so much, because you're taking away from what we love about the game, right? And we're trying to like.
My counterpoint is it doesn't lengthen the length of the national anthem. They play it every game anyways. The anthem's gonna come and then it's gonna stop at the same time, and those same players are gonna just go play football.
My point is, the attention is being taken away from the actual product on the field, and there's more time of people talking about this sort of stuff than talking about stuff that matters. I mean, sorry, I don't mean like that stuff that matters. I mean,
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. No, what do you mean?
sorry, I really.
Can we stop for a minute? Wells is very sorry, and he did not
I
mean.
did not mean it like that. I meant like.
There's a reason. Is like when Red Zone takes time.
Yes.
Red Zone, a channel
Yes.
dedicated to just highlights of sports plays, takes time out of the day and says this person kneeled, that person kneeled, that person kneeled, that person didn't kneel, this person
It
kneeled.
tells you that clearly they're onto something here. Not so much that those guys reporting, but that clearly having this go on every single week before the game starts. It just
There's interest in it.
It's
just
adding
interest.
something.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, Wells. I get it. For you, you're an advocate. You're a dedicated sports guy. You're dedicated to watching football. You could give two craps.
No, it's not that I don't care about what the
No.
message is and all
No,
that.
I'm not talking about that.
It's like, but it's already
just
been
getting
done.
old,
This is
Yeah,
Wells'
exactly.
third
I'm
apology
actually
for saying
already
Black
tired of
Lives
it,
Don't
but I
Matter.
get why they're doing it, though. I'm tired of it, but I get why they're doing it. Like I said, at the end of the day, you weren't even wrong by saying it's stupid. At this point,
You know what? The worst thing is,
They don't even care about
I agree with Wells. I think it's actually it's stupid.
pointless at
If
this
if
point.
you
It is
if you
pointless.
want to do something about it, other than kneeling, go do some philanthropy work. Go do some stuff. Actually get it done, like
Actually,
Kaepernick is doing.
I agree.
Yeah, players
I
do.
agree.
Players
totally
do.
I know, but like maybe we should see more media attention through that.
Oh,
as
the
opposed
league
to-
should show it more. Yeah, the NBA is actually great at that. It's showing players committing their own time to helping other people. The NBA is amazing at that. The NFL, not so much. And that's another thing that. But you're right. I
But I
think
think this would have been dead earlier.
It would have been dead if Donald Trump.
if they
That's
no,
exactly-
no,
Yeah,
if
it's
Kaepernick just played on a team the next year, it wouldn't be a big deal at
no,
all.
they weren't. It was dying off before.
It was dying
Donald
off. Trump
said
threw
something.
major gas on it, though. He threw major gas on it.
Of course,
POTUS.
because you remove Christ himself from the game. You take out Kaepernick. He doesn't have a job. He's still doing what he's doing, but he's not in the limelight anymore.
Yes,
Now,
no more spotlight.
but now one man sees what Kaepernick's doing. He's like, I'm gonna keep that flame going for you, and then it starts catching wind, and then everyone else is doing it, and then as soon as you turn on the TV, you're seeing this player, that player, but you're not seeing Kaepernick on TV no more. Now I only see Kaepernick through social media, and that's rare. I see more posts about
People
players
supporting
kneeling
him.
and everyone else doing that, but I don't see Kaepernick.
But that's how it happens, though, right?
Well, Kaepernick just what did he do? Filed an injunction,
File a lawsuit.
filed a
Injunction,
lawsuit
file a lawsuit.
saying it's collusion.
Yep.
That the league's basically keeping him out of there. And it's collusion for that. I don't think he's going to prove that. It's funny. He actually grabbed a celebrity lawyer. I can't remember the lawyer's name.
That was stupid too.
He grabbed a celebrity
That was
lawyer,
stupid.
and he didn't go through
The proper way to go about
the Players Association. That
was
I
stupid.
found that weird.
Why would you not grab a famous lawyer to go into a famous
Well,
lawsuit?
why don't you go through the Players
Because
Association?
you're not doing it to win a case. You're doing it to get paid out.
You know what? And you just said it right there. You're not doing this
Kaepernick
to win a case.
right
He
now,
knows he's not winning.
what he's
He
lost
wants to
in this,
bring more people
when this first happened, I told you guys it's going to cost Colin Kaepernick money. And that was the most important. That was the biggest thing. I was sad for him because I knew he cost himself millions of dollars. And he's just trying to go and get that back. What you do is you get a high-profile lawyer to file a high-profile lawsuit, and the league pays to shut it up. That's all that's happening.
And you do say this a lot. Let me ask something. Would you say the same thing about Muhammad Ali?
Muhammad Ali was different. He was the greatest boxer. Colin Kaepernick is an average NFL quarterback. It's totally different universe.
Tom Brady did this, it would have been fine.
Tom Brady did this.
it'd be
No one would care. Tom Brady can say anything he wants. He's Tom Brady. You can't be an average guy taking a stand by yourself and prosper. Muhammad Ali was the greatest boxer ever when he said that. Muhammad Ali went in the middle of what? He was in the middle of the biggest television program of all time talking about reasons and problems and issues because everyone wanted to hear him talk, period, right? Nobody's bringing Colin Kaepernick on the late night show.
Actually, he's refusing because a lot of people are requesting. He's just refusing to go.
Yeah, I don't think he's a big enough star, and that's just my opinion, obviously.
A lot of people have been calling for him to.
And end of the day, really and truly, they're just making a mountain out of a molehill, man. It's like.
Wait. You clarify what you mean. That. What do you mean when you say a mountain out of a molehill?
it's-
Are you talking about?
Like the issue at hand. Like,
Well, the issue is the issue. And I think the issue is important. The issue is important, but are you just talking about the protest itself?
I guess I'm talking about the protest. Like the issue at hand is police injustice.
Which is big, yeah, it's still big.
Yeah, that's your molehill. But then, all the events that's happening now with NFL players and other people in sports, you're trying to make a mountain out of it. It's like, end of the day, it is what it is. It's the people that are directly affected by it are the ones that should be making more of the movement. Save all this. If you want to save all this negativity and all this bad news, let CNN do it then. You don't gotta spill it into sports now, man. Basically, that's what it is. Like let news stations deal with it. I don't want to have to see it on regular news and then have to watch TSN
Come back and
or
watch it on
SportsCenter or
Sports
whatever,
Center.
and then hear the same thing again. It's like
Yeah.
it makes no sense to me. I'm wasting TV time.
Yeah. And now the Penguins even got thrown into this whole business, which I don't know. Do you think that's fair? Was
Like team or like
yeah, the
For
Penguins-
going to the White House.
For going to the White House, because they
They went to the White House.
No, there was a certain day something happened. I think it was a day everybody and the owners kneeled. They put out a statement saying that they were going to go to the White House.
Oh yeah.
And then everyone got.
Wasn't
mad.
it like when they said Golden State wasn't gonna go, and then
Yeah,
the
that was
Penguins
it.
were
Golden
like,
State. Yeah, took it back.
Penguins
and
like, we're gonna go.
then- and then
Didn't
Penguins
Trump
released-
say they were going to go instead of saying
no they released a statement.
real
Penguins
whatever
also.
team?
No, I think Smite's right. I think when like did Trump say something about like
It was Golden State.
they were all saying something about like Trump, like Curry and LeBron or whatever.
Yeah.
There was like some stupid crap on like Twitter, and then amidst all that mess, something came out about the Penguins going to the White
Yeah,
House.
they released a statement saying. I think they released that statement because they didn't want the players to answer after their game. I think they were playing that day or something like that, so they didn't want that. And then they got thrown to the mess, which I think it was a mistake that they went. But at the same time, they've also gone to the White House when Bush was there, when Obama was there, and now when Trump's
It's not a mistake if you think about it.
No, not at all.
That league's got low ratings. It makes sense for them. It's
a good
It's
point.
good for ratings.
This is good for ratings.
You know what? Here's the thing. If me right now as a black man, if I won the championship of some sport and had a chance to go to the White House, I don't care who's there. I'm going to the White House. I was invited to go to the White House. And I don't, people should be slandered or scrutinized for going to visit the president in the White House. That's a great honor, and a lot of people don't get to do it. So when people were trying to bash the Pittsburgh Penguins for accepting what they've earned as world champions, going to the White House to visit the president, who cares who he is? I was like, really, guys? Like, I don't think that's a big deal.
And you realize going to the White House is all political too, right?
I don't-
I think it was like
Yeah, but people
Nixon or something
who
that
didn't
started.
agree with Obama still went
Oh, yeah, yeah.
with their teams, and that was never an issue.
No one cared, right? And that's
well.
I didn't vote for him, not
You should
going.
just be open to free choice. At the end of the day, I think
Yeah,
it's
you're
open
right,
to
yeah,
free
Tim
choice.
Thomas
That's
did
the way I look at it. I don't think there should ever have to be an agenda behind it. It should just be free choice.
It should be.
You shouldn't be ridiculed as a player or as a team if you don't want to go because you don't agree
Yeah, yeah.
with the way that president is operating. Then I don't think anything's wrong with that. Because at the end of the day, this is a person that you as a country elected to put in place of power. And if you don't feel like they're suitable or they're not doing the job you like, you don't need to go there. I don't think that's a big deal. But on the flip side of the coin, I don't think it's a bad thing to go there either. It is an honor to still go to the White House, and if that's the part of it you want to take up and you want to go there, then nothing's wrong with that, regardless of who's in power.
I don't think Tom Brady's ever gone.
I really just don't think it's news.
I don't think it's they don't go. I don't think Tom Brady's ever gone to the White House.
I don't know. I feel like my main issue with it is that, like,
Went to the White House. Dude?
yeah. So in the beginning, if you vote as a democracy, you vote for your leader. Once your leader is picked, you all vote. You guys pick a leader, and then the country's supposed to support him. That's how countries are supposed to work, right? Everyone gets their fair say, and at the end, somebody wins.
Well, that's what democracy is.
Right, and then
That's what
everyone.
democracy is. You have
You
to
say
pick
we
that
all.
leader,
No, what you're supposed to say is that
That's the country you live in, so that's what you
Right.
know, you sign up for, right?
you support your government. So it's not the guy you pick. That's what democracy is. If it was, then everyone would go to war and they fight, and then whoever side won the war, that guy gets to be president. That's what the other side is, right? That's what dictatorship is. In a democracy, you support your president. So right now, if a guy is president and you didn't vote for him, it doesn't mean you don't like your country. It doesn't mean you don't go to the White House. Like, I think it's so, like, childish. It's childish acts by grown people. Oh man, my guy's not in the White House, I'm not gonna go. What? We're in a situation right now which is a little bit different, but in general, I do think that if you earn the right to go to the White House, you go. Just don't shake his hand if you don't like him. It's like, right?
I guess. I'm with this protest stuff. I'm just lost because I'm just lost. You got guys like Brady Lewis saying he would never ever kneel, and there he was on TV. I just feel the players and everyone, the players should just get together and just organize this thing. But you know what I do think is going to come out of this, which is very interesting. I think this whole protest thing will be the beginning of the players trying to get power back in the CBA, trying to get power back solely in the CBA. It's going to take a lot of years, but I think they realize, hey, there is a power when we group together.
Are you watching the NBA?
Yes.
NFL players will never get power after what happened.
Well, they've
in the
given
NBA.
up. They've given up so much.
After
it's a long time coming.
After what's happened in the NBA, the players will never have power. They'll make sure of it. They'll figure it out.
It's a long time coming. That's it.
Well, I think in their league's already set up in a way that you cannot hear me right from representative. I'm talking to you, bro. I don't know.
Let's have this conversation during the podcast.
It's simple. Their league's set up in a way that they can have power, but they have to give up. At this point, it almost doesn't make any sense. I mean, and then this protest is a perfect example of why they probably won't ever come together as players. Because even now, when it comes to as simple as just why are you protesting and backing the main guy and what the protest is about, even that's gotten lost in the sauce. So the idea of these guys coming together to for the betterment of them as players, I don't see that happening at all. And their bigger problem is they have too many players that are already segregated. Like Tom Brady, has he said anything about anything going on here?
Well, he did linked arms when that day of protest.
Okay, but
no, he hasn't said anything. He said he's not up to.
He exactly. Like the NFL is still a league where the privileged will always just continue to keep their privilege, and those who are unfortunate are unfortunate. Like it's truly a slavery game at the end of the day. It's truly a slavery.
I mean, that's a powerful statement.
It is, but it's an honest statement. It's an honest statement.
I'm leaning over to it's a very incorrect statement.
Well,
I think it's an
I
honest
think
statement.
I think he's saying by definition you can't pay.
You can.
But I understand what you're talking
Can you?
Sure.
about.
Here's $3 million. We own you now.
Not every player gets
It's not guaranteed either.
Yeah, not every player gets
Yeah, but okay, your paycheck's based on you performing.
I don't know. But I understand what you're talking about.
In a world where the owners get guaranteed contracts through television and everything else, they now give the actual people, the actual product, which is the players who get on the field, they don't give them anything guaranteed. That's actually slavery.
But so if you're an owner and you own something, you own everything, and you're paying people to perform for you, if that person can't perform, you don't have to pay them. That's basically the basic right of any job that's ever existed in the history of time.
Because their body's been broken down after years and years. And we're not going to give anything for that. Anyway, that's another topic for another day. The protest stuff, I'm just lost. I don't know. Anyway, we're talking about some NBA stuff there at the end, which is a great transition into the NBA season started. Who's excited for the NBA season? Everyone raise their hands. Woo!
Everyone but Wells.
Everyone but Wells. Everyone but Wells.
I got some stuff I'm looking forward to.
I'll still some stuff. But okay,
I'll check in here and there.
yeah. Last week was it last week? We had last week. Wells had some pretty powerful statements.
Powerful.
Well, You want to elaborate? I'll let you elaborate.
No, you tell me what was powerful about it.
Yo,
And
Wells
I
is
was-
woke, son.
Go ahead.
I want to let you elaborate on it. Well, basically,
What though? Like,
well,
what are you referring to?
Okay, well, basically, you said you're not looking forward to this NBA season and you're going to boycott it, correct?
Boycott may have been the wrong term to use.
yeah.
But like,
I know that.
I did my power rankings of the core four sports right now, and NHL went on top of NBA for third to fourth because it goes baseball for me, then football. Now it's gonna be hockey, and then it's gonna be NBA. And I think, and I said most of what happened last week. Why? Because and I'll tell it for these two guys in case they haven't listened. But the way that the league has been run now by the players and everyone joining up and creating these super teams, and it's just I've lost a lot of interest in the actual competitiveness of the league. And we've already seen some blowouts. We've already seen like it's not. We're just biding our time until next June when the finals start, and we all know what the finals are going to be because that's all the media talks about are these two teams, Golden State and
Golden
Cleveland.
State Cavs. Did you guys hear what Michael Jordan said?
Who cares?
Well, Michael Jordan basically said, well, maybe you should care, because Michael Jordan basically said, you can't have a league where you have 2 or 3 teams that are good, and the rest of them are crap. That's not a good league to have.
No, it's not.
And
Let's talk
he's
about-
saying that because he is one of the crap teams.
Yeah.
He owns one of the crap teams. Charles Barkley said it's going to be hard to fake it watching this league when you know
Right.
what's going to happen at the end. Did you want to offend the game you love, Joe?
I think Jordan was right. If that's what you're asking, yeah. I think, and I don't. Even though everyone criticized him after and had some things to say because his team is garbage, I don't think he said that just because his team's garbage. I think he said that because at the end of the day, the overall product is looking like he's taking it.
Who's his team? The Bobcats, right?
Yeah.
They're not that bad.
They're not.
Oh, the Hornets.
They're not horrible, but it's like I get. But I don't think that's why he said it. He's right. At the end of the day, there's the biggest problem is there's also so many like superstars playing together. It's one thing when like a couple all stars or a couple like good players who are on their way to maybe becoming all stars get together, but like we're starting to see teams where it's like superstars are all playing together.
Okay.
And it's just leaving like there can only be so many superstars on one team.
Here's I'll bring up this point because I brought it up earlier. 10 horseplay is remember when everyone liked the Golden State Warriors? Why did we like them? Because they were a team that forever no one really cared about, right? And then they started drafting and getting homegrown players like Curry, like Draymond Green, like Klay Thompson, and they started winning with players they developed and players that came through the system. And the second we started hating them, or most casual NBA fans started hating them, is when they were like, well, let's just go and get Kevin Durant. And
It's not their fault. It's Kevin Durant's fault.
Yo, they also got Swaggy P and just throwing it out there.
I just mean like, but then like, and then you know what I mean, like all these teams now, it's like I said last week when like Cleveland started getting like people for like $2 million, like Dwayne Wade's still getting paid what $20 million from the Bulls, and now he's getting paid another small paycheck.
He got paid out. That's it.
Yeah, and then Derrick Rose went there. When why didn't they go?
No
to
one
any
wanted
other
Derrick
team?
Rose.
Hold on, no,
He could have. Milwaukee could have signed Derrick Rose. They didn't want him, and that's the difference.
Nitty-gritty of this. So, did you have a problem with the Lakers and Celtics of the 80s? Well,
I never really watched it because I was too young.
well, looking back at history,
But like they didn't like stock up like they didn't stockpile teams, right?
Well, they got
Like,
they got Kareem.
okay, yeah, but
They
like
carried, they got Kareem from the Bucks,
yeah,
and then later on, what's the name got drafted? Magic got drafted.
yeah.
So you're fine with as long as your organization
Sure,
built,
that's a fair transaction.
as long as your organization they actually got stolen, but whatever, not going to history. But you're fine when the organization trades.
I'm fine with doing
Drafts.
that. Like the free agency stuff is bullcrap because Kevin Durant probably could have got paid a lot more to go somewhere else. But
He gave $4 million.
yeah, which is $4 million. But like he went there because he couldn't do it on his own team with guys who were pretty capable to do it with. Right? He chose not to build a team from from scratch. Like he went there. He was like part of their first season, right when they transitioned from Seattle to OKC. And he could have just built that team and won with him, but he chose not to. He
Shouldn't you
jumped
be
ship.
cheering him? Shouldn't you be cheering him?
For
Because
what?
he wanted to win.
Sure,
But like he took
you don't
the
join
cheap
a team.
road.
You don't join a team that you're up against 3-1. Like I think the big problem here is it's great to see the NBA have got guys that are now like in more control of their careers, guys that are like kind of like they talk more. They're thinking about like playing and stuff like that. But in all of this, the competition side is starting to become lost a little bit, and I think that's where it's starting to hurt a little bit. Like guys still compete, but it's like we wanted to see those days where it's like a Kevin Durant who was up 3-1 doesn't want to go join Golden State Warriors. You want to come back, retool, and be like, I'm taking these guys out. Like that competitive spirit. That side of it, I think, is a little bit getting lost. Like guys are still competing, but they're starting to realize that like having a brand, winning a ring early, these things are starting to matter more in the landscape of a full NBA career than it is to go all out and compete.
Here's my thing. We're all sitting here telling Kevin Durant what he should do with his life because he's a great basketball player. Yes, we are. That's exactly what we said. We said he joined a guy that's 3-1. You said he couldn't do it on his own. What I'm saying is he plays out his... He has a right to do what he wants. If any of us had a chance to stick on our team and lose or go to a winning team and win, and it's basically the same money because endorsements pay you anyways, which one of us are picking losing? And the answer is none of us. We can't tell this guy, hey, you should lose the rest of your career in Oklahoma City. Who traded all your friends away on your team because they wouldn't go into the cap. They didn't want to pay to win. You can go to Golden State, who's going to pay hundreds of millions of dollars to make sure you have a good basketball team, right? We're telling a guy to live in Oklahoma City when he can go live in California. That's what we're saying right now, right? That is our logic. I think that in the NBA, it's not your fault you're a great player. If you don't want to play with like-minded great players, you go do that. Does the league suffer? Yeah.
Hang on, wait, can I ask you a question? I don't think they suffer because, well, if you view money and ratings as the goal, I don't think they're suffering at all. But can I ask you a question though? So if DeRozan got paid $2 million and he went up to Golden State, would you be mad?
No.
You'd be happy for it.
I don't care. I don't go play there. You're supposed to build new stars so you can beat those teams. And that's what these other guys should be doing. It's not, hey, I don't have the talent. The talent is because players are just good. Go find good players. Players don't want to play for your team for a reason. The NBA, unfortunately, if you don't want to go into the cap right now, you're not going to have a championship caliber team. That's this league.
Yeah, I don't think that's what the conversation is,
but that's the truth of the matter. Guys are going to teams where
because every team's paying. I'm just saying. I don't think that's the conversation. I'm just saying it's more of the competition of other players. Mark, you're kind of quiet about this. I mean, you've talked about this before. Do you like this? Do you like players colluding, getting together, forming super teams? Are you entertained by it? Do you hate it?
I'm not a fan of it, just for the fact that, like Wells mentioned, like Derrick Rose going, like when you mention other players that are say joining forces that were once leaders of teams or superstars, but they're not leaders anymore. They're role players. They're just good role players, and the reason why some superstars join forces with other superstars now is because their pre-existing team don't have good role players. They don't have that strong support. Back in the 90s and the 80s, you had people that just did one thing. You had a big man that just ran the floor, set a hard pick, rolled, and that was it. He wasn't trying to pick and fade. And he wasn't trying to say, "Yo, I'm a spot up shooter."
That's more to the style of the game today.
But that's it.
Yeah.
But with the transition of that, but it's like at the end of the day, if I'm a small forward or if I'm a guard and I need a rebounder, but you want to play the mid-range game and we're losing games because of that, then it's like, well, I'm gonna go to a team that has those guys. I'm not gonna waste my effort, because if you're not gonna go spend the money for me to make me work within a proper system, then I'm not gonna do it. And sometimes it doesn't boil down to just the team, like the players on the court or players on the team. It's management. Sometimes management doesn't want to spend the money. It's like, I need, like, this guy's going to fit, or this coach is going to do better, because the style of what he's doing isn't working. Because if I step outside the box, then I'm sitting on the bench.
You said something there, like right there, because you said management. Kevin Durant goes to the Warriors. That's not on Kevin Durant. That's not Kevin Durant. That's OKC. That's OKC, and that's their team. You didn't build a good enough team around me to get this done. So I'm leaving now. I think I think players of today are actually realizing their power and going. And it's partly the fans, it's partly media, because everyone's like, you're nothing unless you win a ring. So these players now are going, all right, I'm gonna go get my ring. I'm gonna go get my ring. I'm gonna go do what I. So now that I can be actually recognized. Every time you see on the TNT broadcast, what is Shaq's rebuttal? What is Shaq's rebuttal to Charles Barkley? Every time he gets him in an argument, you don't have a ring. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't have a ring.
You don't know about winning
You
championships.
don't know about winning championships.
You were
don't
going
know
back
about
to back.
hard work, even though that guy ate cheeseburgers and he couldn't shoot a foul shot. But he's telling Charles Barkley he doesn't know about hard work because he doesn't know how to ring. That's what people say. That's what people say all the time.
I just think when you're saying they didn't build a good team around them,
You're talking about OKC.
yeah, what you're saying now is because the standard now is to have at least 2 or 3 superstars on a team, right?
They
It
had
was
2 or
always-
3
it was always-
superstars.
yeah, but like, and then Mark made a good point. We need like glue players too, right? But like now it's Kevin Durant didn't go there to be a glue player. Like he's just going there to be another superstar, where you don't really need glue players on that team. Maybe your second unit, right? Like,
Well, it's his choice, and
Yeah.
then like
no, you can do whatever you want. I understand that, but it's like,
He's just talking about. You're talking about the competition.
yeah, like
The-
you're
yeah.
saying OKC couldn't man up. Well,
He took the easy way.
yeah, he took the easy way, but like OKC, they still had like Westbrook and they still had Adams and whoever.
traded Harden, they traded Jeff Green,
I get
they
that,
traded
But
what's
like
that point guard's
But
name?
when you're saying like they don't have the talent, like
Well, what if you're playing on a team that has the talent, and the choice is either you go into the cap and spend money. Remember, you're a multi-millionaire, so you have it, or you trade it away to stay under the cap. So you're making the team worse on purpose to save money, and that's the situation Kevin Durant was facing, which is why I don't blame him for leaving at all. If I were him and my contract's up, I can go where I want. I'm gonna go play where they're gonna say if it costs $100 million extra dollars to make this team work, that's what we're gonna do. I want to be there. That's why he left.
So are we? Is
happy for
are
people
players
that
like
they don't
Durant
feel that
putting a price tag on their respect and their pride for the game?
The players like Kevin Durant are saying, you guys are multimillionaires, billionaires at that. You guys pay us the money if you want to win. You want people to come into the seats. You want the TV deals. You want the contracts. You want people advertising. Right now, they have people paying to advertise on NBA jerseys. That's star power, right? All the teams that don't have sponsors are wearing Nike jerseys because they don't have a company saying we want to pay to have, right? If you don't have the star power, you have a Nike swish. When you have the star power, you're getting Sunlight, whatever company that's paying to be on your jerseys. That's when you're an
Actually,
owner.
Well, hang on. I think you got it wrong because every team has a Nike switch.
That's what I'm saying. If you don't have a sponsor, you have a Nike swish, right?
Oh,
So,
sorry.
a lot
Yes.
of the other
yeah,
teams
I know what
have
you're saying.
sponsors, yeah.
No, what he's saying is because not every team has advertising on it. Only advertising is going to. If you're not Kevin Durant, if you don't have a Kevin Durant on your team, if you don't have LeBron James on your team, I don't want advertising on your team.
You got
Because
Nike
I'm
switch.
not going to be seen. My advertising is not going to be seen.
That
Yeah,
might be
but
true. That might be true.
That's basically it.
That's what it is.
Market, it's very true.
But I don't know if it's money. Again, what these guys are talking about is competition. The one.
Nothing, honestly, nothing was wrong with Kevin Durant choosing
Mhm.
after his contract to go where he wanted to go. Like I personally don't fault him on that. Like that's fine. It's just that old sense of competition is now becoming lost. That's all I'm saying it being. But I mean, for whatever reason it is, players have that right to exercise that reason. I'm just saying though, when you're up 3-1 on a team, usually you don't look to join that team that you were up on. You feel a sense of confidence that, you know what, we're gonna come back and do our thing. But to Les's point, I get it. Oklahoma didn't make some of the moves that, show dedication to winning. So I understand why they would leave it there. But I mean, in the NBA right now, there's too many players that are looking to just click up with each other and play together instead of competing at the end of the day. You know what I mean? There's just it's gotten a little too friendly. That's my personal opinion.
I can agree with that because like you can even see as far as like even this summer, it was you got Hoodie Melo playing, then you got Westbrook playing with them. I think there was one run. It must have been Melo, Durant, Westbrook on the same team. LeBron's team didn't have a lot of players. He had some regular guys on his team.
Hang on, sorry. Let me clarify. So what Mark is talking about? Because in the off season they have these street ball runs or whatever. And
It was the M7 Black Ops.
yeah, and they go into the gym and they're basically playing. So all these guys are basically working out together, and that's what Mark's going. Go on. Sorry, I cut you off. Mark.
But that's the thing is like you can see that everyone's buddy. And it's like back in the early '90s and the '80s, people didn't have like you were friends, but it was like most times in the off season it wasn't.
I don't think Jordan would have got dead.
Oh,
Working
Larry
out with,
Bird
like-
said after the Dream Team, he was like, "Yo, these guys aren't my friends anymore. Like we're enemies now."
But
And he
that's it.
doesn't like talk to them.
Yeah, like you can have your fun, whatever, but like you can see after the NBA championship, these guys are, having dinner, laughing, and it's like, no, I'm not laughing with you right now. Like, I just lost to you. Like,
But is it-
give me a couple months to kind of get over it.
Is it that serious?
No, I hate. It's not that serious. I hate when people
Right.
because everyone goes back to the '90s, saying that everyone hated each other in the '90s, going back to the '90s. But if you even go back further, Bill Russell and Will Chamberlain, they're the best of friends.
Yeah.
And they're competing. That was basically
It's the
rivalry.
championship
But
every
the
year.
thing is,
And
yeah,
they were the best of friends.
And honestly, that's all that's lost. It's like nothing's wrong with being friends.
no,
It's just that
sense.
sense of competition starting to get a little bit weak in the
Yeah,
end.
it's-
That's all
it's-
it is.
Yeah, you can be friends, but it's like even on the court, like there's no real animosity. It's like we can be best of friends, but it's, if you foul me hard, I'm gonna react differently. I'm gonna be angry that you fouled me hard.
There's no rivalry.
There's no. It's like if I follow you hard, it's just like sorry. Like they kind of laugh it off now. They're like, we're cool. We're going.
So-
I'll buy you dinner
so-
tonight after the
Is
game.
that why lots of people like Westbrook?
Because he's that mad all the time.
Is that why people
Well,
like
that
Westbrook?
is why a lot of people like Westbrook. But here's my thing, right? We talked about slave mentality earlier, and we talked about how like the owners own the players. The NBA is a different league. In the NBA, everyone's like, "Hey, we're all millionaires. We're all taking these guys for their money. Let's entertain. Let's have a good time." Which is the total opposite of what the NFL is, which is like that guy's on your team, you hate him. So it sounds like right now that we're asking for two totally different things when I don't know where that actual line that we actually want to draw is, right? Like, do you hate someone that's not on your team? Is that how it's supposed to be in sports? Or is it, listen, we're all rich, let's entertain, let's give them a show, and let's just go home and hang out? Because the NBA is a hangout league.
Yeah, like no, football's different, right? Because of like all the free agency and like it's a different beast because you're brought up in an organization and you pretty much stay in that organization for most of your career, right? Like they don't have like the glamorous free agency. Where's this guy gonna go? Where's that guy gonna go? And I said this again last week. It's the same thing. Like NFL, like you usually free agents, they don't want you, right? That team
Yeah,
didn't want
basically.
you. You were not wanted because if you were wanted, you would have been signed way before. So it's like NFL, the players. It's a more physical game, right? Like so, yeah, it's hard to be friends with someone and then go like tear their head off or sack them or whatever, right? But I think like where the NBA is, it's just like yeah, you were right, Mark. Like these guys like following each other with like cracking smiles and like shaking hands and fist pump, right? It's like it's like there's not. I don't know.
Let me ask you a question.
Who?
Wells. Let me
Yeah.
ask you a question.
You give it to me.
Yeah. So if Kershaw,
That was weird.
give you an so Kershaw, Harper, and Trout all decided to come to the Blue Jays
Yeah,
alongside with Donaldson.
sure.
Would you have a problem with it?
No. But
Is that because they're coming
but
to
this
the
is
Blue Jays?
baseball. It's completely different. Kershaw pitches every 5 days.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you got those everyday players, and they all
Sure.
decided, hey, let's just form a super team. Would
Well,
you have
they-
a problem with it? Because
don't-
baseball could do that.
Sure, and like yes, you could. There's no salary cap. You can do whatever you want. But like baseball, when do you see that happen? Really?
No, I'm not. It doesn't happen. I don't know why it's not
Yankees.
more.
92,
Well, Yankees
93.
That's why people. Yes, and that's why people hate the Yankees. Mark, because Mark just said the Yankees. That's why people hate.
But like
the
in the
Yankees.
free agency era, how many teams have done that? And
No,
when
they
they
don't.
have, how's it worked? Like look when the Red Sox got like Adrian Gonzalez, Carl
Oh, yeah.
Crawford, all these guys. It didn't work out because baseball's different, man. It's
Oh, I understand that, but I'm just saying. I'm just giving you an example.
sure I'd like it.
You would like it.
Yeah, doesn't mean it's gonna work out.
No. So you'd be fine if those superstars got together.
Yes,
but if they
but-
went to the Yankees,
But listen, NBA is 5 guys on the court at a time, right?
one
And
player makes more. Yeah.
even having one star player makes that much more of a difference. Having 3, 4, you don't have a chance against them. Baseball, I mean, like I can only do so much at my at bat that the next guy can do in their at bat, right?
Baseball, you need about 5, 6 guys.
Doesn't matter. You could have baseball. You could have one superstar and a bunch of like okay players.
And nothing.
What happens
Angels.
happens, right?
The Angels.
It doesn't matter, man. It's look at Minnesota this year. You can't name any star players on the team. They
Yeah.
made the playoffs. Like
Yeah. Baseball is a different animal. I'm just trying to make the analogy of superstars.
no,
deciding
I
to
get
come-
what you're
come-
saying.
Coming
but
together.
Yeah.
it's not going to be the same.
Yeah, no, like, yeah, I can agree with. What I was like, yeah, I guess the subject at hand is superstars coming together, but it's like with something like baseball, something like football, your roster's what two times bigger than
Yeah.
an NBA. Where if 5 guys on the court and they're all good, more times you're gonna produce a good product.
But here's,
if I have hold on a second. If I have all my star players on the field, they might not do anything. My basic pitcher might just do the job for me, and everyone's just standing there twiddling their thumbs, throwing the ball around.
But here's my logic, though, right? Like, see, like the reality is, every player in the NBA has potential to be a good player. If 3 great players get together, why can't they lose? I don't understand the concept of like those guys are on a team, so they're automatically going to win every time. And the NBA is the biggest culprit of this. The 3 great guys get together, they just consistently win. But like, guys can hit shots, guys can knock down open. Like, why aren't other teams just taking the talent they have and plotting to beat these stars players? They have weaknesses.
It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You know it because it.
Dallas
if you look
Mavericks
throughout-
beat the Miami Heat.
If you look throughout history, well, they make the finals every year. If you look throughout history, if you get 3 guys together, top 9 players, they're not losing. Golden State's not losing. I'm sorry. I don't care if you think they're going to lose. They're not losing. They have too much talent. They're not.
They lost on Tuesday. Are you hitting the panic button?
Oh my
if you're,
goodness, they should probably should. Yeah, they should probably trade. Just probably trade everyone.
They
But-
should, yeah.
But that's the NBA. That's the way that leagues work. Like right now, the Cavaliers have stacked the deck against everybody. No one's going to beat them in the East.
But that's different.
Yeah.
But
That's
the-
different
but
beast.
The thing is, they'll still lose games.
They'll, of course,
Yeah,
lose
of
games.
course they will.
They're going to
Is
sick
there any
guy
doubt- Is there any
who
doubt
lose
in your
games
head,
on
Mark,
purpose.
Is there any doubt in your head, Mark, that it's going to be the Cavs and Warriors in the finals? No.
Unless-
that's the whole point.
Unless
That's the point.
unless LeBron goes down and
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Well, injuries. Yeah, injuries are.
Unless
Well-
LeBron goes down and something else happens, that's the only thing, right?
The Houston Rockets have 2 stars. Chris Paul scored 8 points in that game, and they beat Golden State. PJ Tucker hit the
It's just
the takeover 3 throws, and I'm just like, and they're if you look at their star power, they got one guy, Chris Paul. I don't think he's a superstar anymore, and that's arguable.
You never liked Chris
I know, and that's arguable. I understand that, but the rest of the guys on that team, the rest of the guys can just knock down shots, and they compete with anybody. Even last year they had James Harden and a bunch of dudes, right? You couldn't name the starting lineup. You couldn't. You couldn't talk about anyone else that was going to the All-Star game. There weren't any people considered to go to the All-Star game, and they won 60 games. So I'm saying that why
Hold
can't
on,
you make?
wait, do you think the Rockets can beat the Warriors?
No, I'm saying why can't you make do with the guys that you have?
But do with what? What are you trying to do? Like you're not going to win. You're not going to win the championship.
Well, I'm just saying, but you can. Why not?
No, you can't. You can't. Do you think the Rockets can beat the Warriors? Answer that question.
They just did. So yes.
No, to get to the finals. Do you think they can beat them in a 7-game series?
Probably not.
That's the point. That's the point.
It's improbable, not impossible. There's
It is
two
impossible.
different.
I'm telling you, it's impossible.
He
Well,
said that. You just said same thing. Katie was up 3-1 and left. You just said he left because the team's garbage and weren't dedicated.
no, I said he left because they wouldn't pay, and that's a totally
No,
different
they
universe.
would have paid him. He just wanted to win. That's what it was.
They wouldn't team together, and I wouldn't play an organization that wouldn't pay to keep my good team together either. So I applauded Kevin Durant's decision. And guess what? They paid Russell Westbrook. They're going to pay Paul George,
If he stays.
and they're gonna try to pay Carmelo Anthony because they see the errors and their mistakes. They cost them millions and millions and millions of dollars making those mistakes.
You're going to pay Carmelo Anthony?
But that's it.
I pay him.
But that's it. But no, that's what you just said there. They saw the error in their ways, and they're gonna try to do that. They're gonna try to throw out that money that they can to sign those guys. They didn't do it before, and teams don't do it now because the sand through that hourglass runs a lot quicker. They don't have the patience. They're saying 2 years. Well, we lost 2% in sales or 2% in ticket sales. So let's bring in this guy. Let's bring in this guy. See what happens. They barely make the playoffs. Ticket sales haven't gone up much. All right, let's get rid of this guy. Let's bring this guy in. They keep on trying to shuffle that deck and bring in another superstar just to see if they can kind of recoup what they lost the previous season. And then when they find something that sticks, they're like, let's ride this out for a couple seasons now. Who's to say that, Paul George and Melo do good and they make basketball a little more exciting again and okay. They're like, well, sales went back up. We have that extra money. Yeah, we'll sign both of you guys now. Or take the pay cut repeat another season like that, and hey, Melo, you'll get that money too.
Yeah, if you want to win in this league, I think you go into the cap, and that's. If you're not willing to do that, I think your star players should
Every
walk,
team's in the cap.
and that's what they're
That
saying.
has nothing to do with it.
But a lot of teams aren't over the cap ceiling; they're over the salary cap, but they're not into the luxury tax, and that's a difference.
But Smythe, there's only
Some teams can't go into the
No,
luxury
good-
tax because
no.
no one wants to go there anyway. So it
No,
doesn't even
Smite,
matter.
there's-
They don't have that option.
there's only one Kevin Durant. So okay, so if the Raptors decided, hey, I want to spend just as much money as Golden State,
Yeah,
what would happen? I want to spend just as much money as Golden State. Is Kevin Durant coming here?
no,
Is Carmelo Anthony coming here?
maybe.
Is Paul? No, you know he's not. Is
Here's
Paul
the,
George
here's,
coming
here's the thing though, if you're gonna go into the cap for a chance to go to the finals, if you go to the finals and winning the finals are almost the same thing. It's
But
the same
that's-
amount of games,
You can't
same
just say
tickets.
you have to spend it at cap. You can't because there's only a certain amount of stars to go around.
There's
And
only
they're not.
two teams that are making it there. So at the end of the day, when you think about it, it's not financially
Well-
viable to go into the cap just for the sake of going to the cap. Like competing, when you think of competing over a season, being healthy, and then going into a playoff, having a good run, and winning a championship, and how many things have to come together for that to make sense?
Yes.
It doesn't just make sense to go into the cap and thinking that's going to take you there. You have to have the personnel.
Yeah. If Michael Jordan said, "I'm going to go into the cap. I'm going to spend just as much money as Golden State," he's going to win a championship if he did that.
I'm not saying. I'm
No,
saying
he
if
doesn't have the
you
talent.
want to draw talent, you have to be willing to go into
No,
the
it's
cap.
not just. It's not just.
That's exactly what
I think you're right to a certain degree. That there's that element does definitely
course.
play. But with that said, there's markets that just can't attract these players. So you can scream all you want above your lungs if the player's like, listen, I'll go above the cap. I'll pay everyone. And you really would be willing to do that. It's just no one wants to come to your city to play.
How many teams?
So you
would-
don't have that option.
How many teams? LeBron James and Max money. How many teams in this league would?
Every team would give LeBron James
Exactly.
max.
So-
But will they
But
go?
spending the money? Yeah, every team will do it. Every team will spend if they get the players. But is that player coming to you? That's the whole point. Is that player coming to your team? Probably not if they don't want to.
Is where it goes, right? But after that, though, if you have a chance to build a team and you opt out of building that team, you're going to lose your star players. That's what the players are saying right now to these owners. Do you see what I'm saying? If, like, for instance, Paul George right now is Oklahoma City. If the Oklahoma City Thunder are
Okay.
not into the luxury tax next season, Paul George leaves. That is what he's saying right now to everyone who will listen.
I don't think these players are saying, "Give me the money," because the money is there. Because you're seeing these guys turn down the money. And that CBA that the player that the owners actually made actually turned. It didn't create what they actually thought it would, because they thought they would offer them so much money that they can't turn it down, so they have to stay in their
These
teams.
guys want to win. They want to win.
But it's what's they're finding out now is I'm turning down that money because I'm getting so much more money. $175 million is more than enough money than $200 million. So I'll turn down $200 million to go win over here. That's what they're finding
There's
out.
brands now. Like there's guys that are getting so much on shoe contracts. Like Klay Thompson, what he got, 80 mil
Yeah.
for a China, company in China. So like these guys are making money on the back end where they don't even need that kind of money from their
Yeah.
on an actual contract.
Yeah.
And then they can still play with on a good team. So
Yeah, exactly. So
they're getting blessed of both worlds.
I think what these players are saying is it's not the money because they get the money anywhere. It's I want to win right now. That's what Kevin Durant
That's
said.
exactly
I want to
what
win.
it is. And that's what's hurting teams that even want to do development. Because you might want to start developing a team. You get a guy that's good. But if he's the only one that's good and you haven't been lucky enough to get anyone else on the team that you can develop along with him, there's a good chance he bounces.
Look at the 76ers. Did they give Wells' boy Joel Embiid?
Why is he my boy?
We've now dubbed him your friend. He's your boy now.
And he's barely played. What was it? 30 games he played.
31 games.
31
games
games.
he's played in total, and they gave him 175 million.
This man played restricted minutes and made that kind of money.
Well, you know what?
So bring me off the bench.
Yeah, but he's an elite talent, and elite talent draws money.
Is he?
You can tell after 30 games?
You know what? You watch him play his 31 games.
How many years he's played?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. He's
No. How many years he's been in the league in total?
three now.
He was drafted
2 seasons injured
2015.
and 31
Yeah.
games last year. The problem is, though, he is a great talent, and you can't let that great talent walk out the
31 games
door.
worth.
You can't even let it hit free agency. It's just, and you've invested how many years of losing in him? You have to pay him.
You end up getting screwed that way because they gave Joel. What's my man's from the Bulls? Ponytail. I don't even know where is he playing.
Joakim Noah.
Joakim Noah. Where's he playing?
He's still in New York, man.
Wow. Didn't he give him a whole bunch of money?
Who?
On the bench.
No, they gave him 64 over 4 years.
Yeah,
That's
they
not a
gave-
lot of money anymore. No, that's mid-level money now. Because Steph Curry signed for 40, which means he signed for less than half of what he could have signed for. It's fine. Now, you like when you take a look at NBA players and salaries and if you pay them, remember we're in an era now where we're paying players for what they will do. We're no longer paying players for what they are doing, right? Those days are over. The only player that earned their contract in the last couple of years, Steph Curry earned his contract. I guess James Harden and Westbrook earned their contracts too.
I was about to say, like,
But now it's like for what you will bring, we will pay you.
You're gonna get screwed that way.
Definitely players will get screwed that way.
did
Or
DeMar
owners will
DeRozan
screw.
earn his
Exactly, it's for what he will do in the next 5 years, right? He was pretty good early. They paid him
Oh,
for what will come.
30.
DeMar DeRozan?
Yeah.
No,
28.
Yeah, it's
28. Yeah, that's good.
Ninth year in the league.
Yeah, that's fine.
They
Like,
paid
that
him for the
contract's
years to
fine.
come.
He's
Yeah, it's a
good.
years to come contract, right? That's what Embiid signed. That's what.
Not necessarily. Like when you're at that age, like Embiid's what 23,
Yeah.
24. So yeah, I agree with you. There's more what to come because we. DeRozan, we've seen what.
Yeah.
That's more of like loyalty. I'm staying here, and I've earned this contract. And he may not be a good player as he was, 2 or 3 years ago, as he will be in his 4th year of his contract. But you're paying for right now. You might pay for next year, and then after that,
He's gonna fall off. You think?
I
don't
just
think
don't-
so.
Well, when he gets older. When he gets
Here's the
older,
thing: DeMar DeRozan played his only $27 million season last year. Before that, he was okay. He was $27
But
million.
it's like
he's
he's
been top 16 scorer in the league.
But he's
for
got.
whole-
It's like he's
whole
gotten better
career.
every year, right? And
Yeah,
so when
well-
you see progression.
Yes, and it's worth it, right? But that's what to come. That's what. Like Kyle Lowry got paid for now.
Yeah, and he's not gonna.
Kyle Lowry's money is like,
they're paying.
Well, it's only 3 years, so it's not
yeah,
really that.
he earned his check.
Hey, sorry, Marco. what were you
I feel like they're paying DeMar the money he is for longevity to keep this team current. Because if you don't and he leaves, this team now becomes, they start falling off. They start, dropping
Yeah.
back down the rank.
They're
in
not the same
East.
team. You're right.
And it's like, so do I give them enough money to keep this team hovering, the 3-4 spot, or even the 2 spot, depending on how Boston fares? Or do you sink down to the bottom and you have people like Atlanta or Milwaukee take your spot, right?
Atlanta.
Because then superstars don't want to come here.
saying? Let's not take that spot.
Yeah, well, and that's the truth, though, right? You're going to pay to keep your core together, and that's what the Raptors did. Obviously, they have their own big 3, or we call the middle 3, medium 3,
All right. I mean, like you got.
mid tier 3.
I think a lot of people appreciate DeRozan more in this city because they drafted him. He went through the tough times without, after Bosch left. They were a bad team for 3 or 4 years.
Remember when he got drafted and they had that whole promotion, the Young Guns?
Yeah,
It
it
was
was like
like
Amir
a-
Johnson,
Amir
and
Johnson.
Sonny Weems.
That's my boy.
Yo, that was the best summer league team
Who's
I
the
ever
other
saw in
guy?
my life,
Wasn't there
though.
another guy? It was Sonny Weems,
Oh, Joey Graham.
Graham.
Joey Graham. I bought my girlfriend at the time because
The team was bomb.
Jersey. And his twin brother.
his twin brother,
Stephen Graham.
the Oklahoma.
Where are those guys playing now? Like Italy or something?
China.
Sonny was in China.
Yeah,
China.
he's killing it over there.
Took that contract. He took that contract during that strike and never came back.
Yep.
We had the rights to him, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'm not coming back."
Did you say we?
I'm saying Toronto. I'm not saying I'm like, I'm not.
Me and my team.
I would not want to be affiliated to.
I don't care. I say we. I say we like I own. I don't care.
Oh, well, you do own it.
Right? I pay taxes. My team.
Anything else in the NBA that you guys want to touch on?
Giannis.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Dropped
How did we
37
not
last night
talk
though.
More about this guy.
Cares.
I've
What do
been
you mean?
talking-
Why do
I've
you
been
say who
talking about
cares?
it. I've been talking
Cares.
about it.
But what is when you say who cares? Like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, you know what?
You don't think he's entertaining?
He's a great talent. I think he's entertaining. He's not taking that team to the next level, and that's my.
But this is my qualm with people who watch the NBA. Are you more invested in watching like a team like Cleveland or Golden State just do what they do and maul over teams, or wouldn't you rather just find like players who are interesting and fun to watch? Like, because like I was just seeing highlight reels of what he did last night, or even like last year against us in the playoffs, and like that guy is very entertaining to watch. That guy is gonna make me want to watch him play. I don't care if
Yes.
he's playing. Yeah,
He'll make you. Wait, does he make you want to watch Milwaukee basketball?
but like, what is it when you say Milwaukee basketball? What if like other people went on that team? Does that make that more interesting? But like, I want to watch him play. I don't care if he's
it
on
makes it more
Milwaukee.
interesting.
I don't care if he's on a team in China. These are very interesting and fun players. to watch.
And you know what the worst thing is? I'm fans of like Carmelo Anthony, one of my favorite players, very selfish player. I used to love Mitch Richmond, very selfish player. But the thing about him, and I can't say his name, so I won't say
Giannis
it.
Antetokounmpo.
Whatever, I don't care. He is a player. He's out for himself, and B doesn't make anything better. So,
of course, he's out for himself because look at his team.
but when I watch the Milwaukee Bucks play, it's one good guy that could be better, but he's not willing to help them. So I don't.
That's not his job.
He might have trade Parker.
His
His job's not to win games because
his
they're
job
not
is to win
winning.
games. But it's like I can only do so much. If you can't catch up, then you know.
Well, right. So basically, he's not worth me watching because he doesn't have the talent around him or whatever the case is. He is who he is. He's going to score 35 a game and lose. Whatever. It's fine, and that can happen. Visualizing him. I don't think he's an MVP. I don't think he's a top player candidate because he can't take a team that has pieces and put something together to compete with the other top teams in the East, where there are no top teams except for one. So that's my view on him.
I think you're crazy. I think you're absolutely crazy.
Oh,
I think
no.
Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to be the next. After LeBron leaves, he is going to be the next player in the NBA. I think you're.
So you see the Bucks going to the finals? Is that what you're saying?
No, the Bucks
He doesn't need
aren't
to
going
go
to
to
the
the
finals.
finals.
The Bucks aren't going to the finals. I don't even think he's going to stay there. But I do believe Giannis Antetokounmpo.
He's getting that shoe deal. And he's out.
Yeah, I think Giannis. Well, this is how many years has he been in the league? I can't remember.
This is fourth.
Fourth year. I think Giannis Antetokounmpo is the next guy. Once
He
he's
has to win though. I feel like with he's got to be on a team. Like if he's gonna leave Milwaukee, first of all, then he's still got to go to a team that's worth watching. At the end of the day, I feel like. And in most team sports, it's hard to follow
I'm
teams based off
Wait.
one guy.
Hang on.
It's team sports. So when they're not winning or good, it's like,
I'm going to pause you right there because you're saying a team worth watching. What does that mean?
I mean, right off the bat, a team that wins.
Okay, so. Sorry, no, I meant because you said like Milwaukee wouldn't be that team. 'Cause
No, they would be. But the thing is, it's like while right now, okay, for instance, like Wild City, I wouldn't mind watching him. I like following him. He does a good job. He plays hard. Milwaukee's a good-looking, upcoming team.
Mm-hmm.
Now, provided Giannis stays there, and they continue to be that good, upcoming team together, then there's going to be something to watch. I feel like if that team doesn't pan out, but he continues to be a good player, he'll just be another good player in the league. But it's all about winning in the NBA. Really, in any of those leagues, but like winning's what it's come down to. So if he just wants to be a good team, a good guy, an average team, he's not gonna matter. Like it won't matter.
So we'll just follow him when he signs on Golden State Warriors.
No. But he will be followed a lot more and get better coverage as the team does better.
Mark that. I need to use that quote. Mark the time of that quote there. I need that.
I think what Joe's saying is that when the team wins, because if I look right now, of the two teams that everyone wants to watch, and they're not in LA, they're not in New York, they're not in Boston. It's the Cavs and Golden State.
You just gotta win. You just gotta win.
I'm not everyone. I don't want to watch them.
It doesn't matter where you are, where your team is. You just gotta win, realistically. I mean, okay, maybe outside of the Raptors, because the only teams north of the border. But I mean, if you're winning, they'll follow you. That's really all that really matters.
No, that's
No, it really is that. But you know what it is? We're not accustomed to seeing teams that are in shitty markets even be that good. That's
Oklahoma
another thing.
City's in a shitty market.
Yeah.
No, but we were all engaged when they had their three best players and they were a good team. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
They're good right now.
And people still.
Yeah, and they're intriguing. Stephen
We
A.
watched
Smith,
them last
he said,
year.
I'm looking forward to watching this team.
Don't quote Stephen A. Smith on
No.
this podcast. That guy knows what he's talking about.
No, you don't get it. There's a reason why I quoted him. I quoted him because they're interesting to watch now. They have three other players. They've retooled and they've now looking intriguing.
They were interesting last year. We watched them last year.
Well, they have three.
The interest last year is that they had a great player in Westbrook
So why can't-
having an all-time season.
So why can't we watch Antetokounmpo, right?
Same thing, but he's not dominating on that level. There's no reason to watch him. He's not killing it
come
like
on.
that.
37 and
come on,
13
guys.
is
Why don't
pretty
we be fair?
dominating.
No.
He's not though. He didn't average a triple-double for a whole season.
No, but the thing is that he's top to both, but that's it. It's just him. You say, Antetokounmpo played good.
That's
And
it.
you know what? He's a defense, and he's a defensive player. The truth is, who was the last player in the league who was really their main bread and butter being defense, who was bigged up?
Kawhi Leonard.
No, I mean really defense though, like real defense. Like Kawhi, no, I know, but Kawhi does a lot on the offensive side. I mean, like a dude who's like known more for defense than his offense.
Antetokounmpo averaged more. He dropped 37 last night. He's
I
playing
would
great.
say Gary Payton's the last time we've been in the
No,
league.
man, no.
He's a defensive guy that like we know him more for his defense than we do for his offensive.
Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard's kind of there, but
Kawhi Leonard is there.
He's there, but I feel like he does so many other things well. He's like the ultimate Swiss.
Oh, you mean strictly?
I'm talking about a guy like
Strictly
we know Giannis because of the defensive side. more than the
No, we
offensive
don't.
side.
He scores a lot of points. He's a great player. I'm not
Most of his highlights come
doubting,
from him doing something amazing.
but I'm not doubting him
offensive.
being a great player. What I'm saying is that he's not making this team a competitor. This
Not yet. They're too
team
young.
can't compete.
They're too young.
So we can't be like, this guy's great. And remember we talked about Kyrie Irving a million times before LeBron James came back. Nash said Kyrie Irving sucks. He can't take his team to the playoffs.
Oh, wait. I didn't say he sucks. I didn't say he sucks. I don't think he's a superstar. By my definition of superstar. Continue.
Okay. But you know what? Change your argument. That's
I
fine.
didn't change my argument. I don't think he's a superstar by my definition.
But like
Continue your
so
argument.
based on that, like and Wells, you're right, he's a great player and we should watch him. But until Milwaukee cross that line, especially in the East, to a team that can compete to win the East, we can't give him the credit, even if he deserves it, that he deserves.
Hold on.
I don't
Can
know,
I give,
man.
can I- wait. Can I give Will some ammo though? Did you watch Westbrook last year?
Yeah,
They're keeping him.
I know.
He was playing at a level that we haven't seen before. And that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, but like,
Giannis is not doing that.
That's all you got. That's all you guys got to understand. Like you don't have
but
to.
the fact that
it's
Westbrook
that
went
simple.
out and got so many triple doubles, average triple double a season,
Purposely.
but like, you know why he did? Because there's no one else there to help him do anything. He was doing all.
I didn't like what Westbrook did
I didn't-
last
I didn't
year.
like
To be
what
honest, I think he was only playing to get triple doubles. But he got one tonight, by the way.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Go on. Will.
No, I'm just saying, like, what does someone have to do other than win? And you're saying, does that mean like in order for someone to watch the casual fan or someone to just watch Antetokounmpo play, he has to score 40 a game?
No. Because
Average
people
40?
watch him already, but in order for him to be talked about,
No, he doesn't though. Like, because he's never on TNT.
No, because that team is not good. They're also in a small market. That's the biggest problem. It's the team thing. Once
But
they
Oklahoma
start
City was a
winning-
small market,
No, but they were winning. at
We've
one
already
point.
been there.
They were winning at one point.
I
They're in
know.
the West,
but they still get prime time.
They can still get prime time though.
they had better players, guys.
Yeah,
like
premium players.
you do realize, yeah. Come on,
Now
guys.
they do.
They had premium players.
Now they
with
do.
them.
But like
Who was their
last
premium player?
year.
Who was their premium player last year?
Yeah, but okay, that was 1 year. They had a premium
Dion
team right
Waiters?
before
No,
that.
but his point is no. But Wells' point is they're on games, and it was only Westbrook.
Yeah.
So why can't
Because
Giannis
Westbrook
get that?
alone was entertaining enough that make people actually want to watch.
But don't you
it.
think that like if say Antetokounmpo got that sort of coverage that it would open more eyes to people like because he's not a household name as much as we want him
Oh,
to.
yeah, no.
Like he should be.
and rightfully so. But hey, I'll go back to Nash's question that was asked about what constitute what was it
Why were everyone paying attention to Westbrook?
no
And-
not
sorry.
that question. It was the question about what's your definition of a team to watch or a decent team.
Yeah. So why do we watch the Thunder last year? But why can't we watch Milwaukee this year? Why can't they get the national
Because
coverage?
Westbrook did what he did, but the record, it wasn't like Westbrook's putting out these numbers and this team's sitting at 500 the whole season.
They're basically 500.
What did they finish last year?
They finished-
Well, as far as
They
seeding,
made the playoffs.
Yeah, 6. They finished 6.
okay.
They're seventh in the West.
6,
Okay.
and they
But
got.
everyone goes on.
Six,
But
whatever.
everyone goes on all the time about
It's the
how much
same.
stronger
It's the
the
same
West is.
place
So at the
actually
end
that
of the
Milwaukee
day-
finished in the
Not last
East.
year. What are you talking about last year?
But they won. You're right.
No,
You're
but
right.
it's a stronger
They
conference
won.
in
They
general, but it's
beat
been that
teams.
for a while.
And
now, so that's
and
not
Durant
really-
just left. There's so many factors, right? Durant just left the team. You want to see how they're doing. Westbrook averaged triple double, had the most triple doubles in NBA history. Like there's just so many things that Westbrook did that Antetokounmpo didn't do,
There's
and that and
there's
whatever.
so many branches to that tree.
Yeah.
that you still watch it. But the thing is that it's. And we're talking about what constitutes a team that the team to watch.
Yeah.
If you're Milwaukee and you're losing to Orlando tonight, and then you're losing to thing, you're not a good team. Because you can see, if you want to know, look on the other side of the pond. you look at what's it called? The Spurs. The Spurs, for the most part, they sit in the middle and you hear about them, and you don't pay any mind until playoff time. And you're like, damn, you guys are second, third, like you guys are right there. But you know, they kind of just they don't fly under the radar. You just don't. They're not flashy. They're not doing anything different, right?
Oh well, the Spurs aren't. The Spurs are they're not watchable because they're superstars. They're watchable because they consistently win every year. That's a different concept, and they don't get the national games
I'm
either.
I'm gonna call you on this because we're not seeing this tune previous years.
With the Spurs?
Yes.
What are you talking about?
You always say they're old and I'm not gonna watch them and blah 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 blah.
I say that all the time.
But they win all the time.
They always win. I'm old. They don't watch them. They don't get national games. How many times have you seen on national TV?
They do get some national games. Yeah, they're not that.
Very little
They
national
don't- yeah,
games.
they don't get that.
They
But
got
they
more
win
than
60.
Milwaukee, though.
Of course they do.
Yeah, I'm not. That's fact. They do get more than Milwaukee. That is fact.
Yeah.
But why can't we watch Giannis like that? I think Giannis is exciting.
Because
I think.
You think he's
No,
exciting.
as
The
much-
general
as
public does
much-
not.
No, he
That's
is.
true. That's
He
true.
is, but it's like if Giannis were to go on a double streak right now, I guarantee you one of his games are going to be one of the games are going to be televised.
Jonas Valanciunas goes on double streaks. Double doubles aren't good enough.
He's a dinosaur. He's a
It's
dinosaur.
expected. Double doubles are regular things
No,
in this league.
Okay, sorry. Let me rephrase that.
Triple
If he's-
double spree?
No, not even triple double. If he's going up there scoring 25 points and grabbing 25 boards a game for the next
Wow, that's
10
pretty hard.
games,
That's pretty hard.
but
Yeah. Okay. I know what you mean. Yeah. Big numbers. Big numbers.
if he's throwing out big number double doubles,
Yeah.
you're gonna see. Or even if he went out there and went on a 30-point game scoring streak,
But case in point, he's not that guy. Right? That's not him.
He is that guy, but
He's not that guy.
You
That's-
have Dellavedova as a point guard. What do you want from him, man?
I got a funny thing to say. So you know how TNT does their national broadcast every week, right? It's like Thursday's like the big
Yeah,
night
yeah,
where you
yeah.
piggyback 2 games. Next Thursday, Boston at Milwaukee.
Answered your question.
Wait. Is that more for Boston? That's
No, you know
about
what?
Boston.
That's the end of this talk. Next topic.
Who's the forward? That's it.
All right. Topic. And anything else in the NBA? Anything else you guys wanted to touch about? Nothing.
I feel sorry for Gordon Hayward.
Oh yeah.
I wish
that
him
was
the best.
That was disgusting.
I saw a split.
And I feel sorry for Jeremy Lin because you tried.
That was heartbreaking. Did you see it? Did you see it?
He cried, bro. He cried. I saw his. I was like, you look scared.
He wasn't crying because he's hurt. Because he cried now, he just lost the season, and he might not get more money anymore.
That's wrong. Was it a contract year?
No,
I don't remember that.
no, we just signed. He's fine.
He's all right. We're running a bit long.
Milwaukee has 4 games on TNT this year, guys.
Thanks, Wells.
So we're gonna delete this whole.
We talked over.
We're gonna delete this whole.
If you look at the number compared to the other teams, it's still not that high.
No.
Well, compared to like Golden State and
For
Cavs.
the obvious reasons.
All right. So, yeah, we're running long, so we're just gonna come off. We're gonna go a little quicker here. MLB playoffs.
Go ahead, Mark. Take it away.
I love baseball. Baseball is a good sport.
It's another year for the Blue Jays.
Are the Blue Jays?
The Blue Jays are Wells' favorite here.
Anyway, but
That 10-year plan is not happening.
10-year plan.
Every time I see this guy.
Anything that stands out to you guys?
I can't call it
Surprising,
baseball.
Blah blah.
I'm very upset. And
Except that the fact that the team can't call.
do you know what?
Squat.
The evil empire is back. I'm actually enjoying everyone hoping they don't win and them just like figuring it out. That's it, really.
We'll see, though, man. You know, when no home team is lost in this series
That's
so far.
it. You're only in
So-
trouble when you lose at home.
So everyone's done their part, home team wise. There's still 2 more home games for, well, at least one more home game.
Can I say something? Can I bring it way back to something?
How way back?
Just game 3 of
Oh.
Cubs and Nationals.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's something that bothers me.
Cubs and Nationals or Cubs and Dodgers?
No, Cubs and Nationals.
Last
Yeah,
2
last
weeks?
year's.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm just gonna bring back something that just bothers the hell out of me. So Matt Scherzer got taken out in.
yeah,
third
yeah, yeah.
inning?
No. It
No,
was like the 6th or 7th.
It's 6 or 7. Sorry, it was like 100 pitches.
And they brought
Yeah.
Antetokounmpo in. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, he got to like 100 pitches and they took him out. It just irritates me about baseball. It's like monkey see, monkey do. He got 200 pitches, so he must be done. Let me take him out.
Yeah, no, and Dusty Baker, the manager for Washington's notoriously known to just botch being a manager. Like he does bad decisions. But well, if you look at the playoffs now, there's such a quick chain. Like they're pulling the chain so quick on these
I
players.
hate it.
And it's like, rule of thumb is like, especially in the playoffs, if you go to a third time through an order, you don't want your pitcher seeing those guys for a third time unless they've absolutely
Crushed them.
been
Yeah,
lights
that is
out.
that is rule of thumb. If you go through a third time in order, you
Yeah.
get it back. But I don't know. It's just a set. It's like, okay, you've gone through a third time. You got 200 pitches.
No, it's not set because there's stuff you got to gauge it on too.
I think
right?
I think that is. I think that is set. I think
No, I think especially in the playoffs, what's been happening is starters as soon as they get in trouble after like the third
Oh,
or
yeah,
fourth
and
inning, then it's like
They're getting yoinked. You don't
They're
need
going
that
to their
5-run
moments.
inning, right?
These playoffs, yeah, people are getting pulled quicker.
You
but
don't need that 5-run inning where you can't come back from. What happened to the Cubs today? Right, and the game was over in the 4th inning. You can't leave your guy, and if you think he's gonna get rocked, you pull him. This is the playoffs, and you can't fault these managers for looking at their pitcher, seeing it at bat, and being like, "That was rough.
don't
Let me
think
get
so.
someone warming up."
No, but my whole beef about that so much is it's not that. Obviously if you're getting rocked, pull him out. I get that.
Pitch count is rough, though. You are right about that.
It's the pitch count.
I don't believe-
third time through order. I'm gonna just automatically pull you.
the third time to order thing is more of a pitch count thing because pitch count.
It usually gets to about 100.
Yeah, but like we're in the playoffs, so like you're not saving anyone for the rest of the season. You got to win. You got to win, right?
That's it.
So there's no like Verlander threw 125 pitches the other night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this is it. This is the season.
What was the game 7 where Arizona, right? Schneider starts and then Randy Johnson comes in to relieve, and it's just like blockbuster pitching all the way.
Yeah.
What happened to those days?
That happened to Baumgartner a couple years ago when
Yeah.
they won the World Series, 2014. Is he
And-
came in and he pitched like the last, like he started the
Well, they have been doing that.
one game, game 1, game 4, and then he came in game 7 and pitched like 7 innings of relief.
Yeah,
And so, yeah,
Basically with the playoffs, it's like all hands on deck.
All hands on
And
deck.
They have been doing that. They have been doing that. But it's just something like that.
but I do hate the concept of pitch counts. Like, is a guy going to need Tommy John surgery for arm out because he 210 pitches? Like, no. But if a guy throws 100 pitches, how fresh is that arm? Those pitches aren't going 97, 98 anymore, right?
that's a funny thing. Like some pitchers, like Verlander, it still throws 97, 96.
Yeah,
But
Verlander is also a
like,
freak of
they
nature.
get
We
older.
can't like.
It's managing your bullpen and your pitchers is gauging and getting a feel for how the at bats are going. If you're getting behind in counts as a pitcher, staying around in.
That part I get, and that part I'm fine with. I'm completely fine with that. I'm
No, but
just-
Scherzer was doing fine. I
Yeah,
agree,
yeah,
and a lot of
that's what I'm
people
saying.
question what was happened. And again, that's just Dusty Baker being an idiot.
It's also his job is being questioned. It's true.
Yeah, it's just you're at 100. Time to pull you.
I wanted to say right there, it's true. It's damn
It's
true.
damn
I
true.
really was right there. But you're right. But the thing is, Baker is probably going to lose his job after.
Well, he
But,
just.
I mean,
It's tough, man. Nationals.
Bolton Nationals.
They should have a World Series.
Washington City is
Yeah, they just can't get the job done. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter who you throw in there. You could throw Tony La Russa there as a manager. It's not going to work
Because
out.
last year, I think Nationals were the best team in baseball. Last year.
Yeah, I think even
If
the
you
year
look up and
before,
down.
the year before when they had
Yeah.
the MVP year from Harper, I thought
And
they should have won that.
nothing.
And then there's the
And
year before where they lost to they were up 2-0 on the Giants and they lost their series, and they're just that team just doesn't. It doesn't matter who you throw in there.
they don't get it done.
It doesn't matter who's managing. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
And like really, they would have had. I thought they would have put up a better test against the Dodgers than the Cubs did because the Cubs really didn't do anything.
No.
The
was
Cubs going to
disappointing.
tonight, I know they only got one run, but they were batting 0-0-0 with runners in scoring position, and that ain't gonna cut it home.
I think it's just Dodgers are better. I think Dodgers are better.
Dodgers are
up
good,
and down.
yeah, but-
Dodgers is better up and down.
Do you
we're
think-
Gonna see who if the Astros. I think they probably will. I think the Astros will beat the Yankees.
Do you think they just steamroll whoever gets out of the AL as well?
It might be that way.
I took a look at it. I was like, I don't think anyone can stand up to this.
Yeah, they're pretty good top to bottom. So it pretty much might be. Anything about these? Anything else about the playoffs?
No, I mean like we're almost there. We're almost done.
Yeah,
World
it's almost
Series starts
over.
on Tuesday.
What happened to the Astros bats, though?
Yeah, it's
My
bad.
lord.
But I told you guys. I
And
said
again,
like,
if the Yankees get a lead,
yeah, it's
Yeah,
not,
and that's what you guys call. You guys did call it, and I thought the starters would get rocked, and they're pitching their hearts out right now.
Tanaka's looked amazing.
The-
Sabathia, I don't know. He's hopped in some time machine, grabbed the fountain.
This evil empire. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of enjoying the ride the Yankees
It's
are
not
on
even
right now.
evil though, right? This is like a bunch of kids.
Yeah,
Evil,
That's
no,
it.
forever the evil. We thought they were out right in the beginning. We thought they had no business being in the playoffs, and they are I love it. They're ruining my dreams, first of all, all the way through. But I'm like, I like this.
The scary part about them is they're still like
Kids.
They're kids. Like
Kids.
this is gonna get even worse for the rest of the league.
Yep.
And wait till Harper's a free agent too.
And he goes-
Next year after. Well, that's the
I
year.
could name 3
I
or
don't
4
think
guys.
I think
that are going
Machado goes there, but it's the
And
same.
same
year.
thing with Donaldson too. Is the year after that?
He is, yeah.
That actually year is gonna be
Donaldson, Machado.
No,
Yeah.
he's too old. He's too old. They won't request his
Get
services.
yourself a Yankee hat.
Yeah,
football.
it's gonna be a long decade.
Yeah, and wear your Yankee hat, your Cavaliers jersey, and I don't know, your Man U shorts.
But also, though, Aaron Judge's response to the first round, he was horrible. Look at him now. He's
He
playing
started
baseball.
Off, he really didn't turn it up until he got home in New York, right? But
Yeah.
like I said,
He's good in the wild card.
No,
he had a home run. That's
yeah,
it.
it was horrible. The wild card. Everything else, though, he's been playing great baseball ever since.
He had a home run in the wild card, and he had a home run in game 4. No, he had one.
No, yeah, you're right. Sorry, Wells, you're right. It was a game.
But no, like all he needed was one of him or Sanchez to get a timely hit here and there, and they've actually the last couple of
Doing
games
it well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so if they get hot, then
Speaks to his clutch, though. I think that kid's the future of baseball, personally.
Judge.
Yeah, I know the whole league's gonna sit on his
He's
back.
pretty young.
Yeah, I mean he hits home runs. That's cool. But
He's big. He's pretty young.
Yo, 50 home runs, jumping,
52.
catching balls in the outfield,
well, that's just him standing. He's not really
and every home run, they're like, he's crushed it. 340.
Yeah, he doesn't
they
hit it
they
in
think
keys.
he kills them. I think it's a great name.
Yeah, it's gonna stay.
Yeah, it's pretty.
And he plays in New York.
Yeah.
It's like anytime if he walks, like I get updates from MLB.com. It's like all rise.
Granted, first base.
Yeah, seriously.
That's about it. That's about it. We have some other stuff to talk about, but we're running kind of long. But yeah, that was our first.
You don't want to. He's skipping again, right, Smith?
I know.
I'm not skipping anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway.
Hold on. I just want to
tried
get.
to do this last week.
Yeah, let's just.
Okay, do you want to talk about it? Okay, we'll talk.
Might as
about
well, man. I mean, we've gotten this far.
I think so too. I think it's a great
it.
thing
All
to talk
right, so
about.
we're gonna talk about NHL. We're gonna talk about Montreal.
No,
You
we
wanna
don't.
give us your analysis.
We don't have to talk about them really.
And there goes Mark's analysis.
I had a good conversation with a client of mine at work talking about we're talking about hockey. We're talking about teams that just haven't won. Teams that haven't won in the last 5-6 years, or even 10 years. And Montreal's getting up there.
It's been a while.
They haven't won since 1993.
The Leafs haven't won in what? Is it 50 years now? Wells?
No Canadian team.
51.
Well, okay. This is in case you guys are to recap. Basically, the team podcast basically had the same Canadian teams into the playoffs. Right now, it's looking kind of wonky. Whatever. The only two difference that we had was the Leafs and Montreal. I think the Montreal Canadiens are going to make playoffs, and the Leafs will not make playoffs. And these guys think the Leafs are going to make playoffs. Right now, what are we at? Game 7?
Yeah.
Game 7, it looks like they're right. It looks like they're right. Because Montreal right now is at the bottom of the conference. Probably one of the best teams in the league.
Not one of the best.
The best.
The best.
They are the best team in the NHL right now.
Record-
Hold on. Yeah.
Points wise.
Oh, points wise. Okay.
For now, though.
Let's talk about the Leaf start right now. Just give me 1 second here. I'd like to mention the Leaf start in only one word.
No, you know what? I got a little some positives for Nash, for his team. All right, because the Habs are off a dreadful start. But here's some positives. The last couple years when they started really well, what happened? They faded out.
Yeah.
So maybe they're doing the reverse thing this year, where they're just going to crap.
Well,
crap
that
for a
year they
while.
faded out. What happened? Gary Price.
Yeah.
Price got
Well,
hurt.
he is there. Too.
Right now, Price is playing like crap.
Yeah.
They can't score. We're the damn.
Well, they scored 3 against the Leafs, and I was very surprised. That was
And that's
they
about it.
doubled their total. In one game.
That was a
And
great
right now
game
they're
for
going-
them.
Yeah, and right now they're going through California. All signs at the beginning that says, ugh. They can't score. They can't score. This has been their problem for 5 years. They can't score, and they haven't fixed anything.
They brought in Drouin. I thought I thought they'd be better.
This is my thing about Drouin. This is my thing about Drouin.
Drouin.
Jonathan Drouin.
JD.
They brought in Francophone. You think it would work?
That's pretty much it.
That
That's
solves
pretty much
all the
reason they got
problems
Frank
in
Vogel.
Montreal is when you do that, right?
If
No.
But isn't he from Ontario?
Yeah, but is he from Ontario? I can't remember. Anyway,
Canada, Ontario.
if he was that guy, that Montreal is advertising to be, would Lightning have let him go?
First of all,
No.
who thought he was that guy?
Montreal's advertising.
No, Montreal thought he spoke French, so it's a great thing. But like, he was that guy. Like, he's not. Is he a 50 goal scorer? No. Like,
No.
I don't know. I saw this coming, so I don't know how you didn't. And
Well,
look,
the reason I didn't see it come because they have been the best Canadian team for the last 5 years.
Who?
The Montreal Canadiens. They have been the best Canadian team.
you know what?
Yes, they have.
I'm not gonna argue with that.
Yes,
I'm
they
not gonna argue with.
And you guys had them falling off a cliff in 1 year.
Yeah, you're right. But yes, it was gonna happen.
Because first of all, I still go back. I don't know why they traded PK Subban.
Don't know why either. That trade's going to be disastrous.
And like
About
nothing
2
against Shea Weber, who I think is a good player, but
He's
like,
older and he's not.
but he's not. He was like
Better
not
than
only
him.
just a good player and like like he brought something to that team that you can't replace,
Star
but he
power.
was also amazing in the community, like with
Great person.
Montreal, and he still is in Montreal, and I think that's a cool reflection of him of what he still does to the community. But like I think that ruined this current core. I think that upset the balance of that team.
That's a lack of commitment to winning. Do you know what I mean?
The
Like,
only I would argue with that is because when he got traded, nobody said anything.
Who?
None of the Montreal Canadiens said anything.
What are they gonna say?
Nobody stood up and said, "Hey, why are you?"
the NHL is not like that, though. The NHL wouldn't be like, this is a travesty. But, right? It's true, right? The NHL doesn't care who gets traded. No one will say it. But we all thought the same thing. Why would you trade for an older guy? And I understand Shea Weber's one, and I understand the national team shares by position. But if you're seeing the same money and one guy's got, was it 4 years?
Wait, Weber hasn't won. You talking about Team Canada?
Yeah, Team Canada.
Yeah, he won Team Canada.
He won Team Canada, and he played more, right? Because PK Subban wasn't even invited to Team Canada last time. So you're technically, yeah, well, you're technically getting the better player, but like he's older, he's slower, and he doesn't have the same effect. Like PK Subban was the heart and soul of the Montreal Canadiens.
I mean, other than Carey Price, but Carey Price is a goalie, right? Like,
He's a goalie.
But Shea Weber is a better defenseman.
sure, but like
But he can't bring it up.
he's not gonna be like.
Yeah, you want that puck moving defenseman, which.
But not just that, not just like his actual like his skill, right? I'm talking about being like a leader on that team and being like a pillar of that community, which Subban was, right? Like there was really no reason for him to go unless he did something with the owner's wife. I don't know what he did, man.
I feel like I did something wrong.
Maybe he slept with a player's wife. I don't know,
right? At the end of the day, I think that was a grave mistake. Not a regular mistake, but something that's going to affect you for years to come. Because PK could have been in uniform for the next 10 years. Shea Weber's probably done after the next 2 or 3.
Matt throw it in there.
Yeah.
What's that?
Matt throw it in there. Matt Duchene.
What about him?
Yeah, why'd you
He
throw
wants
it in?
out. He wants out. He wants out of
He's gonna save that team.
He wants out of that.
Go for it.
He can score.
Who are they gonna trade to get him?
That's the problem.
Galchenyuk?
Galchenyuk. And right now, Galchenyuk's playing on fourth
line.
They're really shining him up, really like a nice penny. but
There's nothing that team can do right now other than trade draft picks and.
Carey Price.
they still have $8 million on the cap.
Okay.
They still have. $8
Oh, they could go out
million.
and get someone, but like, what are they gonna offer?
That's the whole thing about that. I think Matt Duchene is
Sure.
but apparently the Penguins want to get Matt Duchene too, and
Yeah,
also
that's-
the Rangers. I don't know.
The Rangers are pretty bad right now too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty bad.
But I think-
I don't
But you know who isn't bad? The Toronto Maple Leafs.
You know what?
All right,
They're
all right,
not.
let's-
You know who doesn't have a problem scoring?
The Toronto Maple Leafs. You know what? Can we have another moment of silence, please? Let's just break down the Leafs.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Stop. Okay.
No, but hold on. Give me a moment first. One second.
Where do you rank him?
Great.
The greatest player you've ever witnessed.
Oh my
Where do you
god.
where do you rank him in the NHL?
That's just crazy talk.
Do you
Rank
know?
him.
Do you
I
know?
rank him on the best team in the NHL right now, and he's leading the way.
I think you have Sidney Crosby, you have Connor McDavid, and you have Austin Matthews. I think he's that good. He's at that level. He is scoring,
Wait, say
playing.
that again. What did you say?
I think he's one of those guys. He's in that
top five
level.
to you right now.
He's in that special category. He's in the category
I
of
don't-
special.
I love the guy, but I don't think he's there yet.
Is he top 10 for you though?
I would say he's top 10. On the way of making top 5. I think top 5 right now would be McDavid, Crosby, and then you have like a kind of slew of guys like Kucherov. You ever watch that guy play?
He's a great player,
That guy has 8 goals in 7 games.
right?
Ovechkin's got to be up there too, right?
No,
Right now?
no.
What do you mean, man? Guy had
Ovechkin.
7 goals in 2 games.
Ovechkin sits on the left of the slot and slaps pucks in. I get what he does.
Yeah, and
but
it's
but
done
is
well for him.
but that's
You're giving
fine.
you're giving him more credence because he's a center.
Who?
Matthews.
No, I'm giving Matthews more credit because Matthews he's playing better hockey. He's harder to stop, and he is special. He's a special talent. Like, as much as we love Connor McDavid, what's he done this year?
Yeah, his team's doing bad.
And what's Austin Matthews doing this year? And I know
Rolling,
we're
baby.
I know we're Leafs fans, and that's
wait,
fine.
Hold on,
But
pump the brakes. How many games in are we in?
we're 7 games in. Austin Matthews had 40 goals in his first season. He had a great season, and right now he's playing exceptional. And everything we see out of this kid is saying special. And I know we can't crown him today, but what I'm saying is that he is probably one of the top 5 players in this league.
Hey, McDavid's not having the best start.
Yeah.
Well, the team
Like,
isn't. The
but-
team isn't.
Yeah, the team isn't. But ultimately, if the team isn't, then it's harder for you to kind of get going.
Mm-hmm.
And who's to say that the Leafs don't flip the switch and go back to how they used to? How they used to play,
But-
and then Matthews stinks.
How they used to play. Matthews still has 40 goals, how many assists, and how many points.
Well, yeah.
And he was a rookie.
But then he can still do what he do. But then the team doesn't make the playoffs.
Do you know how many Hart Trophy winners have been on the Maple Leafs in history? Hart Trophy's MVP.
None.
Do you know how many?
I know.
Dude, when's the last time a Leaf player led the league in scoring, or like even was in the top 10? I think McGillney was the last. player.
Sundin was in the top
I think
10.
No, he wasn't. If you look, back,
Sundin's over in the top 10?
never been in the top 10.
Man.
The last Leaf player to be in the top 10 in scoring was Alexander McGillney.
I was
The
a Leaf
only-
fan back then.
Mark running around his McGillney jersey. Let's go.
The only MVP that this team has gotten, and they have the second most Stanley Cups
Yeah, but
in
come on.
history,
That doesn't count.
Doesn't
was
count.
Ted Kennedy in the 40s.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, my favorite player.
And that was a give me.
Near board.
Right? That's a
that
great
was a-
Google, Nash. Great
Yeah,
Google,
that was a-
buddy. Awesome.
And that was a give. And that was a give me. I'm just saying.
But
Wait. My point is, can Austin Matthews?
Yeah, man. Austin Matthews is the number 1 pick who's playing exceptional hockey. I don't see what the issue is here with us saying he's a great player. Connor McDavid, number 1 pick, great player. Sidney Crosby, number 1 pick, great player. This guy is giving you all the signs. All he's done is produce. All he's done is win. He took a Leafs team to play outside, no business being there, and now has the talent, and they're showing you how good they are.
Austin
I know
Matthews.
we're 1/10 away into the season. I totally understand that. But what I'm saying is we are seeing the beginning of an exceptional career. We should look at it for exactly what it is.
Austin Matthews is like 58% from the face-off. Connor McDavid is 29%.
Face off, man. Get out of here.
No kidding.
I'm just giving.
That's
I'm
great,
just giving you some
man.
numbers to back up.
Did you get an award for that?
They also changed the face-off rule, and that put that huge talent in different players, right? Now you can't use your body and shoulder guys and stuff. You can't even cross the little line there, or else you're going to the box.
What do you do? NHL? Like,
Basically, exactly, right? It's true. But you know what's funny? Remember all the penalties got taken in the preseason? Season starts, no one crosses the goddamn line. Did you guys notice that?
Yeah.
It's actually weird.
Yeah, everyone's saying that penalties are up. They're not actually up, but whatever.
No, it's the same as last year.
So Smythe says Austin Matthews is the greatest player ever to play this game.
you see those horns growing out of his head? Those goat horns?
Better than Wayne Gretzky. Better than Bob.
Getting there.
I just want to be back on the show in about 20 games into the season.
When they lose 8 in a row,
And this whole table has been flipped over.
the table right at all, whatever.
It's Nash in his Habs jersey, Subban jersey.
Right now,
Actually, Mark, get a picture of me and Wells in our Leafs jerseys. Just get a picture. We'll Instagram it.
Right now, Smythe and Wells are both wearing.
Yo, I'm dead serious,
Leaf
guys. Get a
jerseys.
picture of me and
They look
Wells,
very cute.
man.
We'll get a picture. Because in about 3 weeks. Take another picture.
It's just black t-shirts. We just come out of nowhere.
Go
Nowhere
Raptors.
All right, I think that's going to be the end of our kitchen table round table. Again, we're working on
Pass
it.
the salt. Bullets.
I think each table works.
You
That's
can't
smart,
you can't change the name anymore. There's no way.
So
All right.
Can't call it Pass the Salt.
We can't be called Pass the Salt.
Kitchen table just sounds so.
Oh my
so
god.
rudimentary. Like Pass the Salt. I just seem like a good name.
All right, guys.
I want to first of all thank Mark for coming.
Yeah, right. He'll be around more
It
often.
was great to show up. I didn't contribute as much, but a lot of sports,
If you want to hear about Mark's balls, go to the Zero podcast series where he talks about dating.
He was great on the Zero Periods.
Yes.
But where can they find you, Mark? Where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram as Mark_call CALL fit. Yeah, that's my main one, and also I should be back on the Zero podcast, I guess.
Zero series.
Yeah, we got I'm should be back on the Zero series. We got something planned up, something cooked up there. So
And basketball podcast coming soon.
oh yes, basketball podcast as well. Y'all see me around, but go on to the Zero podcast. Definitely, I have a lot to say. Ladies, if you're listening to sports and you want a little extra, just go there too.
And tune into the Horseplay because Wells and DeFeo just
We just put up episode 30 of Horseplay. So 30 is a big number. That's pretty good. We're only on 4 a year, and 30 that's big. But yeah, you can check us out on Instagram, Horseplay_podcast, and then check us out on iTunes, the Horseplay podcast. Cheers.
Nice. All right, guys. This is the Team Podcast, and we are out. Have a great day. Make sure you hit us up on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, and all the social media.
Nash Wells and Smythe host the Team Podcast. We love sports just like you.